Captains tonight for Cincinnati Colerain, number 2, Deontay Smith-Moore. Number 5, Ivan Pace Jr. Number 7, Luke Bolden. Number 23, J.J. Davis.
In the second half. It's around here, guys. Colerain will receive opposite the scoreboard. Best of luck. Have a good game, guys.
Captains for St. Ed's, number 3, Jordan Castleberry. Number 6, Garrett Zuro. Number 52, Rashawn Roberts. And number 2, Caden Colasar. Fans of the athletes playing here tonight are friendly rivals as members of opposing teams. The officials assigned to this game have been selected in Ohio through a system approved by the Board of Directors.
The views and opinion on this broadcast are those of wearecolerain.com and don't necessarily reflect the views of Colerain Football, Colerain High School, or the Northwest School District. Let's go Cards.
Welcome to Tom Benson Hall of Fame Stadium here in Canton, Ohio. Tonight, your Colerain Cardinals are taking on the St. Edward Eagles in the Ohio High School Athletic Association Division I State Championship game. This is Chris Imonitis, along with Brian and Brandon Wyatt and Mike Rourke in the booth, executive producing. Week 15, we have arrived. The Colerain Cardinals, on the back of a 14-0 season, have put themselves in position to be the only team in Colerain history to go 15-0 and win a state championship. Standing in front of them, the 10-3 St. Edward Eagles. And we're going to get into talking about them and the names you need to know when it comes to the Eagles. But right now, we're just going to take a minute and go through some normal housekeeping that we always do. But first and foremost, fellas, Brian, Brandon, what are your thoughts? What are your feelings? We're here in this beautifully renovated stadium that the NFL helped Canton kind of get together for their Hall of Fame game. And just what are your emotions, especially for you, Brandon, as you're back here for the first time since 2004?
Yeah, I mean, you couldn't go through my Facebook page this week, and especially today, without every single one of my friends, every single Colerain. You couldn't go through our Twitter without getting someone going as far back as the 80s, 70s, and 80s, from 2000 to 2014, to all the teams in between that team and now. The sense of this just, we're finally back, and let's finish the job.
Yeah, it's all about community, and as Brandon said, you go back, the social media wasn't around in 2004, and it wasn't around in 1995, and none of those teams. But what was great about Facebook, a lot of these people are sharing pictures with us. We saw Rob Davis, J.J. Davis's father, in his 1980s Boys II Men. My son showed up tonight in his Letterman's jacket.
Yep.
He's wearing his ring. You're seeing, fans in the stands with their class jackets from 1974. I saw one. It fit beautifully, might I add, for a young man that was wearing it at the time. But, this community comes together with this team, and it's a special moment. All the work, and it was great. We saw the send-off, and all the streets of Colerain were lined, all the thanks to all the stores that had signs up encouraging the team. I mean, it's just great, and it's here. You want to enjoy the moment, but you got a big task ahead right now.
Yeah, absolutely. Ultimately, you're right. We had a wonderful day yesterday, and we were there to cover the pep rally. We've got a picture gallery on our website as well as the send-off. Of course, the three executive charters, which we'll talk a little bit more about how that was made possible later, Brian. But coming down Colerain Avenue, as you all know, heading up Poole and hanging a left on Colerain and taking it all the way down to 275 with the Colerain Fire and Colerain Police Escort and hundreds of fans lining Colerain Avenue all the way down. It was a really special moment, but to your point, we have to finish the job, and that's something that Coach Tom Bolden has talked about. And as excited as he was last week about finally getting past that semifinal hurdle for him in his third try, he was a bit reserved. He really was like, this is great, but we're not done yet.
Every preseason interview you've done with him, you remember this. What's your goals for the year? 15-0.
15-0.
Anything less would be a disappointment. 14-0 is great to get here, and it's a great achievement. But this team, this is a special group.
Yeah, absolutely.
You've got great teams that they have great athletes and great size and great depth. There's a cohesiveness with this team that I haven't seen in a long time, an unselfishness on the offense and a ferocity on the defense. But it is, in Coach Bolden's eyes, as you said, he's still focused. He's got this team focused. 14-0 is nice, but 15-0 is the goal.
We did see him a little earlier today. We stopped by New Philadelphia High School where the team kind of went through their final walkthroughs a couple hours ago, and he was as focused as we've ever seen him. I mean, just laser focused on the task at hand, and so were the kids. To the point, though, where they're not tight. I still saw some of them kind of dancing out on the field a little bit, loosening up. It's just another game, but it's not just another game.
Yeah, but we saw them at about 2:30 this afternoon.
Right.
It's all nice there when you're just getting taped up, having a little bit of lunch. But you've got this long day of build-up. It comes to this. It's a kettle. It's a kettle boiling, waiting to explode. We had a little bit of a long game before us, so that I believe this game's going to be it's not going to get started at 8.
Nope, 8:07 is the official start time.
And it is a spectrum, so we're going to have it. But thanks for everybody for listening at home. Our Facebook followers, our Twitter followers, our Snapchat followers have just grown tremendously, and thanks for everybody for support. And remember, we'll keep you updated, but it's crazy up here. So
it is.
And again, as a reminder, we might say by Ohio High School Athletic Association rules, we cannot show live game footage. We will have the game on the scoreboard. We have no idea what is going to be on the scoreboard. It might be replays, or we don't know. It might just be OHSAA messages. We don't know, but it'll have the scores down in distance, and we'll use our words as best we can to describe the action on the field. The other things to take care of, you can find us on Twitter. Follow us on Twitter at We Are Colerain. On Snapchat at We Are Colerain. You can comment to us tonight directly into the booth here live from the Hall of Fame Stadium. You can reach us in the YouTube chat directly. You can reach us at the email address of radio@wearecolerain.com. And we got our first email of the night coming in from where else but sunny Corona, California. Lenny Lopez checking in. Go Cards.
Also, we ought to get a direct line from Mr. Lopez and the Shear family out of Chicago.
Absolutely. Want to also give a shout out real quickly to the Colerain bowling team. Where are they? Let's see that they've reached out to us here in the YouTube chat room. You can see it there if you're listening. Follow along there. So thank you so much, Mike Silvati at LaSalle Grad. Look at that, giving us some encouragement. Hey, there you go. Beat St. Ed's. We'll just leave it at that. So.
And speaking of Colerain bowling, Coach Botzner, get well.
There you go.
Yeah, social media found out that she's got a double sinus infection.
Oh, my goodness.
Oh, my God. Let's get to the game.
A big supporter of the team and former was GMC Coach of the Year, so support Colerain bowling and all the other sports. But thanks, Debbie, for listening.
Hey, many people not know this. She's led the team that has the last banner hanging in at Colerain High School.
In the gym, there you go. All right, so let's talk about these St. Edward Eagles now. Who are these Eagles? First time that the Colerain Cardinals and St. Edward Eagles have ever met up against each other. For those of us who are, obviously, if you're a weekly follower of Colerain, you're very familiar with what I would call almost their brothers down south, the GCL. St. Edward is very much built, as I think Coach Bolden said on Monday's media conference, they're like a combination of St. X and LaSalle. Well, that sounds pretty impressive to me, considering that those two schools between them have 6 state championships. St. Edward's has 3 state championships. The last 3 times they've been in the game, they've won it. 2010, 2014, and 2015. So back-to-back titles in 14 and 15. All 3 of those victories over a somewhat familiar foe back in 2015 for us. They beat Huber Heights Wayne all 3 of those times. In total, St. Edward's has been to the state championship games 7 times, including tonight. Their first 3 times they lost, interestingly, all to Cincinnati teams, Moeller, Fairfield, and Elder. So that's kind of St. Ed's in a nutshell. This is an accomplished program.
Yes.
And as you said, the comparison to the GCL schools, you're exactly right. This program, known for its wrestling. A lot of these football players, this is a tough-nosed parochial school that we're playing tonight.
And we're not exaggerating when we talk. St. Edward is Ohio High School Wrestling.
Yes.
I think they've won something like 29 of the
and
past
I think
30,
they won national championships
30
too. Yeah.
Ohio Wrestling Championships. It was a huge thing a couple of years ago when they didn't win the Division I. It was just unheard of.
Right.
So this is not some fancy country club kids. These are kids that come to work and they come to play hard.
Absolutely.
Yeah. And as we've seen from GCL schools, and we'll see tonight, big up front, big lines. Lots of speed on the outside, a true test for our...
They're big on the offensive side, but it is not the traditional St. Ed's team that we've seen in the past. They're a little more based on their skill players, a little more athletes on the edge, much smaller than normal on the defensive line. They're pretty much going to have linebackers across the front, but they have several big linemen, and it'll be up to Colerain. They're not the maulers that we've used to from St. Ed's. They're more of the just big guys, and if the Colerain can get in space, and then use their speed to overcome that size.
St. Edward this year, as I mentioned, is 10-3. Playoff wins over St. Ignatius in week 1 of the playoffs, which was key because they'd actually lost to them the previous week. So they turned around and won that game. Then they beat Euclid 56-28. Avenged an earlier season loss to Mentor 24-14. They previously lost to them 42-39, so their defense really stepped up in that game. And then last week in the state semifinal, beat Olentangy Liberty by a score of 42-16. This team does have wins over some names you would hear and recognize. They played both Elder and Moeller this year. They beat Elder 36-30. That was a comeback win for the Eagles, and they beat Moeller 29-22, so that was a back-and-forth affair for them. Both of the schools are out on the field now. Colerain is just running through their banner. to the raucous crowd of the Colerain Cardinals sitting, I would presume that's the visitor side over there, as Colerain is officially the visiting team. They are in their all-white uniforms. You can see them running there across the field as Mike is going to have our camera, of course, lined on the scoreboard. So whatever video you get to see that they put on the scoreboard, you get to see tonight. We're not going to take it off that, but again, we can't show you the field. We're here in OHSAA country, so we don't want to get in any kind of serious trouble. Of course, St. Edward is the home team, and they will be in their green tops, yellow pants, and yellow helmets. Quick also note, coin toss took place. St. Ed's won the toss, and they elected to defer. So this vaunted Colerain offense will be on the field first tonight here in Canton.
And it'll be interesting to see how the game started. If you watched any of their previous playoff games, Edwards does not kick deep. They'll kind of pooch it high in the air, or they'll just squib it on the ground and just try to contain you. They don't really have the kicker who can put it in the end zone.
As far as the keys to the game tonight, it's not really any different than any other week for Colerain. You know, there's nothing that St. X is going to present to them that they haven't already seen. We'll pause here in just a minute as soon as they go to the national anthem.
Please welcome.
You can see that right there on your screen.
Will be presented by the St. Edward Eagles Marching Band.
Lieutenant Sarah Haupt and Senior Master Sergeant Shayla Gordon. Ladies and gentlemen, the privilege of tonight's game was made possible by those who have fought and continue to fight for the freedoms we all enjoy. To honor and respect their efforts and our country, will those in uniform please salute? Gentlemen, remove your hats. And everyone, please stand and join in singing as we welcome the Lakewood St. Edward High School Marching Band for the playing of our national anthem.
Very nice rendition of our national anthem by the St. Edward Eagles Marching Band. And we are just under almost a minute and a half left to kickoff, so we're getting ready to start here. Fellas, I was just getting ready to say the keys to the game for Colerain, not any really different than any other week. The key is going to be no turnovers and be smart on the penalties. One special note on St. Edward, this season in the 4 playoff games, they have been the recipient of 12 turnovers. It is not an understatement to say, or I should say it's not an overstatement to say that they've won on the backs of turnovers. If Colerain can limit the turnovers to 0 or 1, feel very good about their chances tonight.
This is beyond.
Your thoughts, opinions on the
game?
We're
supposed to talk. I'm a little engrossed by just everything, taking it all in.
We've got less than a minute to go, just giving you a chance.
Sorry, I'm just distracted by the shiny objects outside.
We're 27 stories up. It's pretty intimidating up here, but yeah, you're right, Chris. It is. It's who's going to control the ball, who's going to control the tempo, who's going to insert the will. This is styles. We know what Colerain's going to do. It's tough defense. They're going to run the option. St. Edward's always known for their defense. They haven't given up a lot of points this year, but they haven't seen a true option team.
That's a great point, and that's something that their coach, head coach Tom Lombardo, who was here for the last state championship in 2015, so this is only his 4th year at St. Edward. He did win that state championship in 15 and now back again this year. He talked about it with local radio about the fact that it's very difficult to try and simulate Colerain's offense in a 4-day period. And we know that, for teams down south, they see us every year, especially in the GMC. But St. Edward has never seen us, and on top of that, they don't play anybody that runs the triple option.
And on top of that, who are you going to ask? Coach Speck, he's not going to tell anything. He's best friends with Coach Bolton. But you're going to ask someone on a short notice who has had that much success. So we'll see what Coach Lombardo and the Eagles have come up with tonight.
Yeah, J.J. Davis, Sincere Jones going to be setting up just inside the 10, but as Chris said earlier, don't expect too many long kicks from the St. Edwards. No wind at all. Flags on the goalpost not moving. Weather is not a factor tonight.
Clock is set. Referees are waiting for the TV timeout to end. And the TV is making its way
off the field, slowly but surely. This is it, Week 15. There is no next week. The Cardinals have an opportunity to bring home the second state championship in school history, loaded with seniors and experience, riding a 14-0 record. Everything is on the line.
So, ref signals ready to play.
12 minutes is set on the clock, and we will be underway. There's the kick, and it is a pooch, exactly as you said. Caught by Ivan Pace. He's going to take it up to the 25. Going to make a couple of guys miss. There's a block, gets outside, gets up to the 30, the 35, the 40. He's still on his feet, 45, 50. And the St. Edward territory on his feet. He's at the 40. He's going to push it all the way down to the 35-yard line of St. Edward, and that's where Colerain will start the game.
Colerain expecting that. They pooch kick it, and Ivan Pace was almost standing on the St. Edward sideline, baiting them to kick it into a hole that was inside the 20-yard line. As soon as they kicked it, he ran to that spot exactly, and the blocking was almost set up to take him across the field. Well designed. Colerain's going to start at the St. Edwards 35.
Couldn't ask for a better start if you're the Cardinals.
The wing formation.
Too tight.
Deontay Smith-Moore, the senior captain under center, sets out.
And of note, Rusty Fest, been out since the beginning of the season, is starting at right tackle for the Colerain Cardinals.
Congratulations to Rusty, working his butt back to get ready and get back into football shape. You're real fortunate you're going to get a chance to see it here. J.J. Davis in motion. There's the handoff to Ivan Pace Jr. Lowers his head, gets across the 30. He's going to pick up 5, maybe 6 on that play.
Great. Go ahead. Great.
What do you do on the very first play when you get your star senior captain offensive lineman back? You go fullback dive right behind them, triple team up to the second level. They push it for 6 yards.
You know what I'm seeing here? St. Edwards, we see a lot of teams cheat up.
They got 12 on the field, and it's going to be a timeout from the St. Edwards.
Their linebackers are playing relatively deep, and their safeties are staying back almost as a catch defense. If you're going to do that, Colerain's going to pick up 3 and 4 yards on a play. If you crowd the line, they've shown that they're going to throw behind you. I like, for a Colerain perspective, I like the defense they're lining up right to.
And a little confusion there with the two tights. I don't think St. Ed. I'm going to say it all night. I don't care.
I'm not even going to stop you.
I know it's St. Ed, but I'm going to say St. Ed. They were lined up, and they weren't prepared for two tights. They tried to rush another D lineman in, but the Cardinals, they're getting a signal from the line, and in panic, the Cardinals get the signal from the line. St. Ed still has 12 men on the field. They call timeout here on just the second play of the game.
So that's a big benefit for the Cardinals, getting the Eagles to burn a timeout this early. And Coach Lombardo talked about that from an Eagles perspective also in his pressers when he said, listen, it's probably going to take us a quarter and a half to get used to the speed and acclimate ourselves with this particular offense. Hopefully the Cardinals can take advantage of that time, so to speak, where they're getting acclimated and put a couple of scores on the board. So for those of you listening, you're really fortunate. You're going to get a chance to, again, we're zoomed in on the scoreboard here, so you're going to get a chance to maybe see a little bit more of the football action than what we thought you might.
We had a little delay here. One of the referees, we saw this last week. One of the St. Edwards linebackers had his knees exposed, a safety issue, and made him get off the field and pull down his knee pads.
The traditional wing formation, Deontay Smith under center.
Edwards has changed it up a little bit. Almost, what is that, a 7-man front?
Yeah, everybody's within 5 yards of the ball.
Well,
but you know what? If you get off guard here and beat that safety,
there's a handoff to Ivan Pace. He's going to keep it. He's going to push forward. He's going to get, I think, enough for the first down. We'll see where they mark it.
He's going to need the 25. I think he's going to be right at it, depending on the
half yard short.
Nope, they gave it to him.
They're waving it.
They gave it to him.
Yeah, good push.
The side judge right over here called it.
Good push up front. Your offensive lineman, Will Coleman, Quasi Jones, Ace Arizwinner, great Beavers, TJ Ganella, as we saw, Rusty Fest playing
Rusty Fest back. This is a big thing because Brian Beavers has been playing, basically, the second tight end has been playing guard with Rusty Fest out. This allows Cards to go a lot more too tight. tackle over formation now for the Cardinals.
Yeah, St. Ed's, given a look that we saw last week from Pickerington Central, had brought their outside linebackers outside the tight ends to force the Colerain Cardinals up the middle.
There's the handoff one more time.
He kept it.
Deontay Smith-Moore kept it, and St. Edward stuffed that one out, and it's going to be a tackle for loss.
Deontay Smith-Moore is sacked.
Just technically that goes in the books as a sack.
No.
3-yard, is it? No, because
it's just a 3-yard loss.
It's a 3-yard loss.
Tackled by Jeffrey Petrowski.
Jeffrey Petrowski on the tackle, a very active linebacker.
Loss of 3, second down and 13.
Has 100 tackles on the year with 12 sacks, 6 tackles for loss. So he's a very active player on the St. Ed defense. So second down and 13. Deontay under center. Takes the ball. Hands it off one more time to Ivan Pace. He's going to get back to the original line of scrimmage. Well defensed by St. Ed.
You got to think, I don't know, depending on how much they get here, this might be 4-down territory if it's the opening drive of the game.
Well, no wind, you're in field goal territory, but you're right. If they pick up 5 or more, they might go for it.
Yeah, like I said, if it's fourth and manageable, it really depends on what they get on this play.
So big third down and 10 here for the Cardinals against this St. Edward defense. Let's see what they do here. Deontay, it's a speed pitch out to Sincere Jones, and he's going to take it wide. He's going to get around the corner. He's going to not have enough for the first down.
Oh, he's got to pick up 5, almost 6 yards.
But yep,
he's right at the line. He needs the 11. They're going to be
maybe 2 yards?
Less than a half yard short. They just
I'm looking at that wrong. I got the post here in the middle of my view.
Yep. So great run by Sincere Jones on the
And immediately here comes the beef.
Yep. Got Eric Phillips and Luke Bolden coming in on the offensive line.
Now line them up on the right side behind Feth, and you've got 220, 290, 290 right on the right side.
So 4th and 1.
So big 4th down call here. There's the handoff to Ivan Pace, and there's a huge hole. He stays on his feet, and he takes it down inside the 10-yard line, down to the 7. It'll be 1st and goal for the Cardinals.
Nothing fancy, just gets right behind it, and the hole opens up. It was a really good job by the Ed secondary to get Ivan Pace, because it looked like he had the seam.
Back to the play. There's a handoff one more to Ivan Pace. He takes it, lowers his head, gets it inside the 5. We'll say down to the 4.
Awful late whistle, and they're saying the ball came out there.
Is that a turnover?
Ivan Pace fighting to get extra yardage there, and he was kind of held up. And it's kind of one of those, you want the referees to let him play, you want him to blow the whistle if he's dead. Fighting for extra yards, it looked like that ball came loose inside the 5.
So, good start is negated for the Cardinals here.
Tom Bold employing the referees. The play should have been over, but
it's one of those.
That's really unfortunate.
If he breaks loose, you cheer him. If he fumbles, you boo him. It's tough.
All right, so now the Cardinal defense is on the field. There's a handoff to Castleberry. He takes it into the middle. Good blocking. He's going to get it out close to a first down, probably enough to pick up the first down out to the 15-yard line. Well, that's exactly what Colerain did not want to have happen. Have a great drive, eat up 3 minutes of clock, and then inside the 5, fumble it. And it's shades of games in the past where Ivan is just fighting and struggling, but at some point you're like, you just secure the ball and go down. But Ivan is not a fumbler, so no worries there. Probably won't see that again.
Well, you've got them deep in their own zone, so this is about defense right here.
Yep, Zero drops back to pass, looks wide, and is caught by number 1, stepped out of bounds, and the referee saw it. That pass was intended for and caught by number 1. Let's get that number. That is Quintel Kent, the University of Michigan recruit.
That was a nice route. It was kind of a fade and go, and then a turn back. It was one-on-one coverage with Sincere Jones, and Sincere Jones went long, and he set right up underneath him. A big gain.
So the Colerain defense setting. Snap is back to Zero. Takes it, keeps it himself, runs into the middle, and he gets hit hard. He's going to pick up about 1 yard on that play.
Zoro is probably one of the better running quarterbacks that we've seen. We contained the Pickerington Central quarterback last week, but this guy is a leader. He can throw the ball, but he's a run-first quarterback.
Yep, I'll give you his stats here just a minute after this play. Second down and 8. Snap is back. He looks to pass, and it pass is caught by number 1, and then immediately tackled on the edge by number 1, Sincere Jones.
You know, a lot of people thought St. Edwards was going to kind of try to slow down this Colerain Cardinals. They're going no huddle. They're going real quick, too.
Yeah, they're mixing plays up real well. Zero on the year. Almost 2,900 combined yards passing and rushing. 31 total touchdowns. That breaks down to roughly 1,800 yards passing, 1,100 yards rushing. In fact, Zuro and Castleberry, the running back, first duo in the backfield for St. Edwards to have 1,000 yards rushing each since the 2015 season.
A big 3rd down and 4.
Snap is back. Fakes the handoff, keeps it himself, and he's not going to get it. He's going to be stopped short. The Colerain defensive line steps up, and he's going to be just short of the 1st down.
Oh, he's going to be 3 yards short.
Oh, yeah, look at that. They did mark him back a little bit. So I thought maybe they might have a decision, St. Edward, but they do not. Or at least it doesn't appear that they do.
Interesting, that whole defense.
Not a good place for a fake.
Interesting, Lair. Ivan Pace did not play defense at all on that series.
Yeah, Jalen Thomas on the outside gives us a lot of speed there.
So there's the punt. It's a low punt. Bounces at about the 41. Sincere Jones stays away from it, and it's going to take a St. Edward bounce, and it's just going to go all the way inside the 5-yard line, all the way down to about the 3-yard line. So great punt by St. Edward away from Sincere Jones, and the Cardinals are going to have 97 yards in front of them if they want to put some points on the board. So it's 6:55 to go here in the first quarter. It's Colerain 0, St. Edward 0.
Yeah, Colerain had flipped the field and got all the way down inside the 5. Kind of changed the field position here. A big kick, and as we've seen here at the high school level, they don't punt traditionally anymore. It's a pooch kick away from the runner and hope for a roll or a good bounce. That ball rolled 25 yards once it hit the ground.
So we do have a TV timeout as the TV guy has come out on the 20, standing.
Take this time to thank our corporate sponsors: Queen City Running, Valley Metalworks, CAI Insurance, Oxworth Blood Center, Cincinnati Police Credit Union, State Farm Insurance, Shock Dial and Carpet, Skyline Chili, Holding Realtors, Underground Sports Shop, Friedhoff Accounting and Tax Service, Meyer, Joe Capel Lawn and Landscape, Midwest Stonescapes, Paul Young Funeral Home, NovaCare, La Rosa's, Northgate Ford, Game On Sports, Life Touch, Fast Sign, Air Pest Control, Plato's Closet, Supercuts, Langen Meats, Quaker Steak and Lube, Joseph Toyota Cincinnati, Northwest Association of Educators, Friendship Baptist Church, and Long Schaefer. Thank you, our 2018-2019 corporate sponsors.
Today to shop for team apparel or open a store for your band.
TV timeout is over. Both coaches waved the team. We got the little media notes here as we came in. There'll be, after the TV timeout is ended, both teams will have 25 seconds before the 25-second play count. So, TV time's over. Both teams have 25 seconds to get to the huddle. Once both teams are onto the field in position, they'll begin the play clock.
See if Colerain does anything different here. They went tackle over. Brandon said 2 tight ends early. St. Edwards made the adjustment, and they're back to the 4-3 defense that we saw in the beginning of that series.
So let's see what they do. There's a handoff once again to Ivan. Oh, no, he kept it himself. Deontay Smith-Moore's got it to the outside. He's still on the 10. He gets all the way out to the 15-yard line. So good run. Had me fooled. Deontay Smith-Moore picks up the first down.
Smart read. He takes it out of, we've got a Colerain Cardinal offensive lineman down. That's a 50 number.
Not 54, it's 57? No, it's not 57. It is 54, T.J. Ganella.
T.J. Ganella was it second team All-State?
Third team All-State.
Third team All-State. Looks like his right leg, so hopefully he can be okay. Rusty Fifth back, but we don't know how long that he can play. He's been out since, week 2?
Yeah, week 2 he played, I think, some of the first half of the game against St. Xavier and then hurt himself in that half, didn't come back, and then, of course, the next day the game was finished off at St. X on Saturday, and he didn't show up. Obviously was unable to play at that point, and he has worked all the way back from what I can only describe, I guess, as a pretty gruesome leg injury.
Torn meniscus.
Yeah.
Yeah, and in his absence, T.J. Ganella kind of stepped up to be the leader of this offensive line.
And then they had to, and we saw it here when they went 2 tights. Brian Beavers has been playing at guard. Even though he wears the 24 number, he's kind of had to wear a different number than he normally, his actual listed in the program. We saw in that opening drive, he put on his normal 24. He lined up as the second tight end on the other side of Elijah Ford. But now you might see him have to go back to Beavers at guard.
Ganell is up and walking, but a noticeable limp and is going to be helped off the field.
Yeah, that could be a pivotal loss for the Cardinals. I mean, we've been blessed this year from an injury perspective. You know, outside of Rusty, really been able to go week to week with our starting lineup every week. I mean, he is walking off, and he's walking on his foot, so there's putting some weight on it, not a whole lot. Hopefully, they're just taking a little bit of extra precaution here, get him maybe a little extra tape, and get him back in the game. Again, assuming it's nothing serious. We certainly don't want to jeopardize.
1st and 10 Cardinals at their own 15-yard line.
Spotted at the 15-yard line.
6 minutes and 47 seconds to go here in the first quarter. Colerain 0, St. Edward 0. Under center, Deontay Smith-Moore. J.J. Davis in motion. There's a speed pitch to him. There's a block on the outside. He's going to cut it in the middle. He's going to get tackled by number 2, but not until he gets out to the 20-yard line.
That's great patience to the outside. There really wasn't anything there. Good lead block out there. It was 56, I believe, Will Coleman leading the way. J.J. just let him just kind of lead the way, found a little bit of seam, picked up 5.
And against most teams, that might have been a bigger game, but Caden Colsar for Eds makes the tackle. He was all-state for the Eagles.
Very good player now, 2nd down for the Cardinals. Deontay steps back, checks out.
10 seconds on the play clock.
Back under center, 3 seconds, 2 seconds. There's the snap. Takes the handoff, keeps it himself. Not a great decision as the St. Edward defense just collapsed on Deontay. He's going to be tackled for no gain on the play. It'll be 3rd down and 5.
Yeah, not sure if there's a missed blocking assignment up there. He kind of kept it himself and looked like he wanted to counter, but I don't know if the blocking scheme was off something there, or just a good play by St. Edward.
I think it was a last-minute shift, and I don't know who missed up front. If it was the read or one of the blocks, but a late shift up front probably caused the disruption there for the Cardinals.
So this St. Edward defense has shown early that they are adjusting, I would say, fairly quickly to this Colerain offense.
Well, what I see, too, their safeties are starting to creep a little bit closer.
Deontay Smith-Moore there, fakes the speed pitch, drops back, looks to pass. He's going to roll, try and find something, hits his own guy, and he's going to lose yards on the play, about 2 yards, and there's a flag.
Late flag.
I got a feeling that might be a face mask.
Well, there's a lot of people jumping into the pile.
Let's see if we can pick up something here.
Not sure.
Face mask pointed. The question is, yes, it's a personal foul on the Eagles. That'll be a 1st down for the Cardinals.
Well, you know what? They need. Well, no, they would have lost 3 yards.
It doesn't matter.
5 yards when he got it. So yeah.
So huge break for the Cardinals there, as they were stopped well short of the 1st down. And because of the 15-yard personal foul face mask penalty, it will take them all the way out to the 33-yard line.
And that's on Deontay Smith-Moore never stopping. They have forced him to put the extra effort in, and when the Eagles make the extra effort, they, unfortunately for themselves, grab the face mask from Deontay Smith-Moore.
So 1st down and 10 for the Cardinals. No score here, under 5 minutes in the first quarter. J.J. Davis in motion. The handoff. Ivan Pace takes it, makes it all the way out to the 40-yard line.
That's what they call yak. Yards after contact.
But it wasn't contact from an Eagle. He's just making contact at the back of his offensive line.
It was, we said, he runs angry. He finds people to run over. He cherishes the contact. He looks for a linebacker. He got hit about the 5-yard push for an extra 2.
And it's
so
just
a 7-yard gain.
Just kind of staying on his track on his dive route and kind of just pushes behind his offensive line. 2nd
down and 3. Hand off once again to Ivan. He's going to take it and push forward. Gets all the way up to the 45-yard line for another Cardinal 1st down.
Yeah, and just again, nothing fancy. This time they go short side. You two are going to have to figure out. That's like the 4th time in less than a quarter. You guys have got us on the wrong number.
I got to put the binoculars down. I was fine when I didn't have the binoculars.
It's fine. Everyone's got a little bit of nerve.
Well,
that's right. I do.
The vertigo is kicked in. We're 27 stories up.
Well, there's also 3 sets of hashes because there's the NFL and college hashes on the field. It's a little thrown off.
Yeah, there's a lot going on there. So 1st and 10 at the 45-yard line.
Check at the line by Deontay Smith-Moore. He sees something he wants. If he's going to come
right tackle,
right side, that's where he's going.
Takes the ball, hands it off right over the middle to Ivan Pace. He takes it across the 50. One of the things we talk about when we talked about the turnovers before and the similarities between the GCL and St. Edward, the GCL, I'm convinced players on defense are taught to strip the ball, to go after it and actively work to get it dislodged. and I don't see anything different from this St. Edward defense. They're doing the exact same thing.
It's always first guy makes the contact, secures the runner, second guy in, attacks the ball.
But that 5 yards was all Deontay Smith-Moore. He checked it. He saw the gap.
Saw what I saw.
And he checked right to the side and was give. There wasn't even a read. He knew what he was doing the whole time.
So now we've got all kinds of movement here on the line. Under 10 seconds on the play clock. Plenty of time. Deontay under center in the I formation, takes the ball, gives the handoff immediately to Ivan Pace, and he is immediately tackled. They knew what was going on there, and they snuffed that out for, I'll call it a 1 yard loss.
It's a 1 yard loss with the spot. The first time the Cardinals go out of the I, and the Eagles are right there.
Yeah, they've looked to overload the right side. Eagles guessed that way. They slanted and blitzed that way. There was nowhere to go.
The Eagles defensively on the year allow 317 yards per game and 20 points per game.
Well, the idea is that play is your guard center push up and push the defensive tackle, and one chips off the linebacker, but one couldn't chip off the linebacker because of the push up front.
3rd down and 6. J.J. Davis in motion. The pitch around the side. Cut, trying to find some room. He's going to be stopped short right at about the 50-yard line. They're going to mark him down at the 49, so they'll get him into St. Ed territory, but that will be a 4th down and 4 to go. I'm going to say it's too long to go for it because I think it is, and
no, you can't.
The punting unit absolutely will come on and try and pin St. Edward deep in their own territory. So kudos to St. Edward. They've done a good job defensively here in this first quarter, adjusting to Colerain's offense.
Well, the comparison you made early to a GCL
I will tell you, though, this is a good spot for a fake.
It really, it's not bad. Lawson Sandusky, we've seen another unconventional, the rugby-style kicker. A great athlete back there.
Great snap. Lawson's got it. It's a high punt. Fair catch called inside the 20-yard line. And that's where St. Edward will take it. Looks like they're at about the 17. It'll be 1st down and 10 for the Eagles.
You know what? This is a state championship game. The stands are crowd, but hear how quiet it is? Everybody's still holding their breath, waiting for someone to throw the first shot.
Yep, the first.
Well, the Cardinals had it, and then the Eagles got the turnover and took that gas, that momentum the Cardinals had to start the game.
Well, they started at their own 5, made it to the 50. So Colerain are moving the ball.
There's a handoff to number 3. That's Castleberry on the run. The senior tailback.
Yeah, Mike Best, the super sophomore, fills the hole quickly, but he does pick up 4.
And that's a really good tackle by Best because on that counter, if he misses that tackle, Castleberry's gone. There was no one else on that side of the field.
21-yard line, 8 of 4.
Yeah, they're setting up quick.
Yep. There's the handoff one more time over the middle. One more time, good yardage gain. Going to be just short of the 1st down. Another 5 yards on that play. Be 3rd down and 1.
Yep, set it up just a yard to go. See what Edwards does here. I'm going to say Edwards.
Yeah, Edwards kind of overloads that left side. They got 320 and 290 on that left side tackle and guard.
Kendricks to the other side of the field. Everybody caught in the middle. Luke Bolden, the senior captain, adjusting. Zero is going to keep it. He's going to try and get the 1st down, and he's going to lower his helmet. He's going to get just enough. I think he needed the 27, and I think that's what he got there.
Yeah, he got the 28. He fills the hole. Mike Best is there again. A huge hit. But, unconventional quarterback and unconventional size. He's pretty stocky. What does the program list him as? I mean, he's kind of a thick kid.
The program lists him at, I will tell you.
He is.
You have it there, right there?
6 foot, 200 pounds.
6 foot, 200 pounds. He looks a little bigger than 200, but that could also be the pads he's got on. So now, drops back, looks at pass, throws it. It is complete. Makes one man miss. Not going to get by another man. He's going to pick up about 3 yards on that play. Good pursuit by the Colerain defense.
Just a quick screen, and Jakari Patterson closes him up. Good play by Quintel Kent. That's why he's going to Michigan. He makes Patterson miss his space. But Patterson does his job. He slows him down, and the rest of the defense closes on him.
Yeah, he pays for that little 3 yards. He made the one-man miss, but got hit by 6. Really delivered the blow.
And that'll do it. So, after 1 quarter play from here in Canton, Ohio, Tom Benson Hall of Fame Stadium, in the Division I state championship game, and it's the Colerain Cardinals 0, the St. Edward Eagles 0.
This game and all of our broadcasts brought to you by the Colerain Boosters and all of our corporate sponsors. Thank you. But, the Colerain Boosters are nothing without you. You know, it's not just football or all the other sports. It's all about the extracurricular activities, not only Colerain High School, but also around the Colerain community, White Oak Middle and Colerain Middle. And kind of some unique things happening this week, knowing being part of the boosters. I know the band has come out. Need to spend $20,000 on new uniforms, and they've got, with your donations and with donations from the boosters, bands getting new uniforms. Also supporting the Clifford YMCA, another booster donation of $1,000. We do it every year. They do a lot for us, does the YMCA. Then we've got the golf team, got new umbrellas, the new softball backstop. So whatever you can do to join the boosters, whether as an individual member or a corporate sponsor, remember, Colerain is nothing without you, and you are the boosters, so join the boosters.
So TV timeout is now.
Do we have any other notes from anybody listening?
No additional emails.
All right.
Remember that email is radio@wearecolerain.com, or just hit us up on the chat.
Hey, Chris, what's going on over there? You're closest to the chat.
Yeah, let us know where you're listening from, what year you graduated, or if you want to give a little shout-out.
There's a lot going on in the chat, and I'm not going to read it because the people that are listening are also in the chat room.
Yeah, but just say a name.
Okay, I'll give a name. Let's see. Give me a name. Jody Helton. There you go. Thanks for tuning in, Jody. Really appreciate it. Our last football broadcast of the year.
2nd and 7 for the Eagles at their own 31-yard line.
Deep set Verzuro. Back at the 26. Snap is back to him. Fakes the handoff. Oh, excuse me, he did not fake it. He handed it up right off the middle, and the Colerain defense was there to meet Castleberry and drove him backwards, and finally there's whistles.
And Luke Bolden met him right in the hole. Castleberry's not a big guy.
No, he's not.
Kind of reminds me a little bit of a Tyler Williams, a scat back. A little bit of strength right there, but Luke Bolden met him in the hole, and then there was a struggle for the ball.
Listed at 5'7", 195, so probably outweighs Tyler by about 20, 25 pounds. But
he's also committed to the University of West Virginia. Or West Virginia University, whatever order it is.
3rd down and 6. Snap is back, Zero drops back to pass, steps up, avoids the rush, but he's not going to avoid another one. Still stays on his feet, but he's going to go down. I think he got back to the original line of scrimmage they'll give him, but
yeah, won't be a sack.
Won't be a sack.
Eric Phillips, along with who was that? Dante Corleone gets finalized the sack, but the pressure was Mason Hill forced him in the middle. Bolden missed him. That's a team tackle right now. Here comes the punting unit. Really surprised right now with the Pooch-style kicker that they only got one guy back, because he really is just kicking away, picking a side.
Yeah, interesting. Well, they're trying to bring some pressure, and that's exactly what he did again, and he got off a great kick, and it bounced again at the 25-yard line. Sincere picks this one up at the 15, trying to find some room. He's going to get it out to about the 18-19, which is perfectly fine. Rather start there than back at the 3.
And I think the Cardinals really sold out to try to get the block there. Sincere Jones really didn't have anything there in terms of blocking, but he did a good job of keeping that ball from bouncing forward. Get some first-half stats for you. 63 yards for the Cardinals in the first quarter, just 46 for Ed Neath, so not 100, just over 100 yards total for both teams in that first quarter.
Yeah, everybody was talking about a shootout with these two teams, but you don't get here without quality defense. Now we're out of the first quarter. It's all about adjustments. The coaching chess game.
Both teams have had 2 possessions.
10 at their own 20-yard line.
Right at the 20-yard line, Deontay Smith-Moore takes it and hands it off to Ivan Pace Jr., and he takes it up the middle. He's met by several St. Edward Eagles, but not until he picks up close to 8 yards on that first down run.
And so far in this game, what we have seen is 6-7 yards from Ivan Pace, and the Cardinals have really got off track on second down. A couple of negative plays, not getting positive yardage. You want to play Canadian football in this, basically. You want to play like there's 3 downs. You want to get it. You don't want to have third downs. You want to get it first down and first down long gain, second down medium gain. Get it going and get your offense on a little bit of a track.
Second down and 2. Deontay Smith-Moore takes it, hands it off. First down, Ivan Pace over the 30, out to the 32-yard line.
Yeah, does that metaphor make sense?
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, Colerain trying to kind of spread out this defense. Went 3 wide receivers, only Ivan Pace behind him. Just a 2-man option.
How many carries other than Ivan was there in the first quarter?
Ivan had 9 carries for 40 yards in the first quarter.
Other than Ivan?
4 for Deontay Smith-Moore, 2 for J.J. Davis, 1 for Sincere Jones.
Okay. So 4 different players have touched the ball. Man in motion. First down and 10. There's a speed pitch wide.
Oh, get a block!
J.J. Davis has made some people miss. He's going to cut it back across the middle. He's going to have enough for the first down.
Oh, we've got another Colerain Cardinals down. That's out-leading the block. Elijah Ford. He's up. Shaking up a little bit.
Jumps right back up.
You know what? He did this a couple weeks ago. Was it last week?
No.
Holding his hand like it was a shoulder? I don't know if he, Brandon, you had problems with your shoulder. You had that little bit of stinger.
It's one of those that won't heal all year.
I'm guessing. But
there's nothing you can really do except ice and rest, and it's
pain management.
It's just you hit your nerve and the shoulder.
Right, it's like hitting a funny bone, but at your shoulder. It's what it feels like. It's just a stinging sensation, and you just kind of got to shake it out.
All right, first down and 10 for the Cardinals. Takes the ball, hands off to Sincere Jones, who's going to try and run wide. Great block on the edge by J.J. Davis. He's going to pick up another 8. We'll call it 9 yards on that first down run.
And this is what we're talking about. You're getting it going on a track, and right now we saw earlier in the game, Cardinals kind of looking to the sidelines for the play. I think they've changed it up a little bit. They're getting to the line and going, not getting to the line and looking for help.
Quick shout out to Aviator Vision, support from Sycamore Community Schools. Thank you so much, guys. Absolutely love the video you put, the little retro video from 2004 that you guys took the time to do. Love being in the GMC, love our partner schools in the conference. Second down and 1 for the Colerain Cardinals. Under center takes the ball, hands off to Ivan Pace. He lowers his shoulder, and he's going to get to the 40-yard line of St. Edward. Another first down for the Cardinals.
And for the Cardinals, too, I've seen out there T.J. Ganello back in the ball game.
That's good for the Cardinals, and that one was nothing simple. I don't think that was he should have gave that ball, but the triple team, and when they run outside veer, you leave 2 guys unblocked, and the guard, tackle, and tight end will move up to the second level, let the reads come forward, and the triple team was so strong on that play that Ivan Pace would have had 2-3 yards before any contact came.
Yeah, Colerain down to the 40-yard line of St. Edwards. They've drove the ball. They've just got to. We talked about finish the season. How about finishing this drive?
Finish the drive, absolutely. There's the ball. Takes the ball, fakes the handoff, keeps it himself. Does Deontay Smith-Moore, gets it hard, but holds on to it and gets it to the 35-yard line.
You know, if he pitches this, JJ's got a shot. But the smart play is to take what the defense give you, and he smartly took the 5.
Yep. Hey, well, I'll take 5 yards on every run. No problem with that. Down to the St. Edward 35-yard line now.
Ball spotted at the 35-yard line.
Again, kudos to the St. Edward defense. They've not allowed that big, huge play yet. The largest play so far of the game, the opening kickoff that Ivan Pace took back. Sincere Jones in motion. The handoff to Ivan Pace. He takes it over the middle. Once again, enough for the first down inside the 30-yard line.
Colerain has found something with an adjustment right there up front. He's not getting touched by any of the defensive linemen, and I believe their defensive line a little bit bigger than our offensive linemen, but he's getting to that second level before contact.
And I think it comes back to the fact that the first quarter they were coming to the line, reading the defense, then looking back to the sidelines. They were not doing that on this drive, and after they kind of did look to the sidelines, Eds was adjusting. They're not really giving Eds any time to adjust.
Kind of going back to what we're used to seeing again, traditional wing formation, Sincere in motion.
I was about to say it's about time for the counter.
Yep, there's a counter, and we've got a flag.
It's got to be a motion. That came out pretty quick. They run a counter to the other side. We've seen it again.
Maybe the guy.
No. It looked like he pointed to Ed.
Yes, he did.
We got an offside. Did he line up off sides?
Sideline warning.
Sideline warning.
St. Edward.
And that simply when that happens, and it's confusing. Like, why is it? Basically, that means the referee on either sideline. There's a line on the sidelines. Everyone's supposed to be back. That gives room for the referee.
Well,
if anyone but the head coach makes contact with the referee, that's what the sideline warning is going to come.
Well, and the coach is only allowed to the 30-yard line. I believe he kind of encroached to where the referee was, closer to the 28.
Most importantly, the play count. The play count. Let's get that out.
Yeah.
The 3-yard rush for Deontay Smith-Moore. Man in motion. Takes the ball, hands off to Ivan Pace. Again, gets 3-4 yards before he gets hit. Again, tackled. Taken down by number... Didn't see who made that tackle.
13 it looked like.
No, number 9 made the tackle. Yep. Good tackle. Wrapped up Ivan and brought him down, but more positive yards for the Cardinals.
Again, tackled by the second man in contact. First man cannot...
But I think this is the Eagles. They're not going to give up the big play. They're going to give up 3-4 yards and try to keep it all in front, and I think that's what we're seeing here.
Yeah, I've been impressed for a team that doesn't see the option. Hasn't seen it this year. They're doing. You're absolutely correct, Brandon. Doing a good job taking away the big play. Here's a big play, 3rd down 3.
There's the ball. Deontay Smith-Moore keeps it. Stays on his feet. Going to get hit, but he's going to get enough for the first down. It's going to take it down.
Still fighting forward. They finally blow the whistle.
Smith-Moore, the ball carrier.
First down at the 16-yard line.
That's another one that we kind of saw earlier. where Dante, he's still fighting for yards. The other teams, once the whistle blown, but he still gets a half extra yard, but they're stripping the ball.
And
It's a fine line for a referee.
New little wrinkle there. That was a straight quarterback counter. There was no option there. Or quarterback power.
There's a speed pitch to Sincere Jones, with one hand catches it. Oh, he had one man to beat.
Turn inside him.
Yeah, he needed to turn inside.
He knows. He saw that. He's his own worst critic right there. He goes for the home run to get outside instead of taking there was a little bit of inside seam. Who was that? J.J. Davis out there blocking.
Yep.
I tell you what, though, give that defensive back kudos on that. He shed the blocker at J.J. Davis.
And that's one of the two super twins back there, Jordan Nash. Him and along with his brother, Logan Nash. And where's the other Nash's name?
There's two of them, you're right.
Yeah, I know, but where is the other one? Oh, Jordan and Logan. Those two junior twins have lead the team in tackles.
So Deontay Smith-Moore now drops back to pass. Looking, finding in the end zone. Touchdown, Cardinals!
Who said that Cardinals can't throw the ball?
Deontay Smith-Moore throws it to Sincere Jones. Sincerely yours for 6 points.
Colerain strikes first at the 4:58 mark in the second quarter. They've moved the ball. This time they finished the drive. A touchdown, Colerain Cardinals.
And a really good patient play. And that play puts Deontay Smith-Moore, because Coach Rado let you know he needed 2 yards coming in the game.
He got 1,000?
It's a 1,000-yard passer for the Colerain Cardinals. Ed
20 TDs?
Ed Bowden sets the snap. Smith-Moore with the hold. Snap down, hold. Down, kick is through. Chris Mangold adds the extra point. And at the 4:58 mark of the first half, the Colerain Cardinals lead the St. Edward Eagles 7-0. And we talked about Coach Rodney. He had talked about how he's so smart, so patient, and Deontay Smith-Moore is so willing to take it in, so willing to suggest things. We saw it here. A little new wrinkle. We're used to that little play action on the toss sweep. This time it's play action off the jet sweep. Sets his feet, turns. He had room to run. He could pick up the first down, but he allows Sincere Jones to come over the top, get past the defense, and run in wide open. He could have ran for first down, but he sees Sincere Jones break open and finds him for 6 points. Who would have thought the Colerain scored on a pass play to start this game?
Well, it's actually a great call, and again, we're talking a little bit here because we've got another TV timeout, but it's a great play call, right? Because it's an ode to the St. Edward defense and what a great job they've done. So here is Tom Bolden, offensive coordinator, saying, we're going to mix it up a little bit now. We've run this entire first half. Let's try a pass. Let's see what we can do, and having faith in his quarterback to do it.
And they've had throwing quarterbacks in the past. Doug Reynolds, L.A. Ramsey, guys that could toss the
ball. Linebacker,
guys that were more pro-style passers, pocket passers that were fast, that we put in the option. Deontay Smith-Moore is an option quarterback.
Yeah.
But he uses his arm, and Coach Daniel Rudd, he's a former state champion at Anderson High School, working with him just over the year. All Coach Rod talks about is how he's learned, he picks up, and he goes his touchdown pass in the state semifinal game. He went through all 3 of his first reads before finding his final target in the end zone.
On that play there, he could have ran for 7 yards. He was in the
scramble. I thought he was going to.
He slowed down and let Sincere clear because he was one-on-one.
Deontay Smith-Moore, let's not forget, that was an amazing throw by Smith-Moore to find the man and then to execute on the move, making a throw. You know, he had a play against Northwest in the baseball from center field, threw somebody out, and everyone went, wow, who is that? Well, that's going to be your starting quarterback next year, and he shows off the cannon here.
Chris Mangold's got the ball set up on the 40 and gets his foot underneath it. It's a side-over-side kick taken at about the 5-yard line. Number 1's got it, takes it up to the 10 to the 15.
Oh, nice
and he's immediately tackled
by your punter, Lawson Sandusky down there.
Sandusky kicking it and tackling it, and his teammates are letting him know it.
And
the junior getting it done.
And he was special team player of the week, no doubt, last week,
no question.
Making that amazing play to track down the errant snap on the fumble, turn around with a 50-yard punt, save the game for the Cardinals. And here he makes the tackle, trapping the Michigan commit inside the 20-yard line.
And what a form tackle. You could write
beautiful.
He broke down, got wide, made the tackle, wrapped up. So first down for the St. Ed's at their own 15.
Here comes Deshaun Payson. Oh, just missed the quarterback. Zero kept it. He stayed on his feet. They're not blowing the whistle. He's still churning his feet. He's going to get 9 yards on that carry. Deshaun Pace came in off the edge to try and get the sack, and he just missed him.
Can we get a timeout from the sidelines? What do we got here?
Luke Bolden and Ivan Pace on the
Luke Bolden's helmet came off, and by Ohio high school rules, he's got to come up out for a play. Jalen Thomas in the ball game.
We've seen these refs really let the play go.
Yep, they're taking a long time, but you know what? When it's your player, you don't want them to blow the whistle. But if it's their player, you want them to blow the whistle. As long as they stay consistent, I'm happy with that. Second and 1.
Yep, 2nd and 1. Fakes the handoff. There's his catch out to number 7. He sheds a tackle, but not really. He ended up going down, got enough for the first down.
Yeah, Colerain one-on-one out there. Who was that? That was
number 7.
Yeah, Alonzo Kendricks.
Going against Joseph Orozco.
So 13 yards on that pass completion. First down for St. Edward. They're going to a quick offense here. There's another pass out to number 4. They've got a block.
They're holding right there in front of you.
Yep,
and there's the flag.
So no problem there. That one's going to come back, and it'll be a 10-yard penalty.
Colerain got a little bit lucky right there. There was 3 receivers out there, only against 2 defenders. Does a great job. Was that Ja'Cory Patterson that came up?
That was Sean Pace.
Sean Post. Yeah.
Sean Pace is the one getting help. But that's what they wanted. They got Ivan Pace is going to come cover the flat. That's what they want. They're going to take 3-on-3 basically. And they say our defensive players can get off the blocks and make the tackle. And he didn't on this time, but that's because St. Edmunds committed a penalty.
Yeah, it's a 10-yard spot foul. That'll take them back to the 31. Would make it a first down and 11? No, first down 16.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 16.
So first down and 16 now, back at the 31-yard line. As a result of the holding call, there's a fake handoff. Zero keeps it, tries to get around the side. And there's another penalty, and that's going to be another holding.
Got the holding penalty on the other side.
And back another 10 yards.
This is what the dynamic playmakers for Colerain. You talk about Ivan Pace, you talk about Sean Pace, you talk about Mike Best. This time, it's the UC bound. He's not going to play a linebacker at UC. Eric Phillips is the big man, going to play defensive end, maybe even defensive tackle. He was there to make the play, went to get off his blocks, and all of a sudden fell down, and he just immediately looked to the sideline, but he didn't realize the referee threw the flag right over top of him when he was on the floor.
And that was right at the original line of scrimmage, so that's a huge loss for St. Edward now all the way back to the 21. So field position changing right before our very eyes.
And we've seen Colerain likes to blitz off that weak side when they anticipate the quarterback option read to their right.
Well, for first down and 26 now, you've got an opportunity to really change the force here. There's a handoff right over the middle. To number 21, he's going to take it up to the 26-yard line.
Joseph Formani, he's really kind of their big bruiser back. They got Castleberry back there. He's the man, the speed guy. Formani's coming to count in there, change of pace, kind of a big bruiser. He picks up about 5 yards on the carry. The current Cardinals are really playing back. They're going to let him have those 4 or 5 yards.
Yeah, and they're going to use all the time they can. I mean, their goal here with about 3 minutes and 30 seconds left in the first half is to not give the ball back to Colerain, knowing that they're going to get the ball back to start the second half.
Well, they did burn up one of their timeouts early. They do have 2 remaining, so plenty of time on the clock.
So second down and 21. Snap is back. They're looking for a little bit of help. 70 tried to block, and he did. There's a catch by number 1. Kent, the Michigan recruit, takes it out to the 39-yard line. Still short of the original line of scrimmage, so it's going to be third down and 4.
And Eric Phillips got a hand on his shoulder but just couldn't turn it enough to make the sack. But
yeah, we saw last week Pick Central pretty much took him out of the game, double-teaming him. But you know what? When you take him out of the game like that, it just frees up somebody else. They're trying to block him one-on-one, and this left tackle is struggling.
Number 70, who's coming off the field, and 62 going in for him.
Well, they just subbed 2 linemen.
Yeah.
For one, so I would say obvious passing situation, a third down and 13. Colerain doesn't go to their dime formation. They stick with their starters.
Yeah, this is a big play here. Colerain defense has got to try to hold if they want to get their offense back on the field with a chance to score.
Edwards runs a pretty good screen game.
There goes a man in motion, fakes the handoff, Zero drops back, looks to pass. Still on his feet, and there's a penalty flag.
Do you call another holding on Colerain takes him down for a 3-yard loss?
It's a holding against Ed.
But do you take the
result?
Take the out?
Absolutely, yeah. You don't take the penalty. It's now 4th down, and he lost yards on that. That was a sack. All the way back at the 20, you call it the 28-yard line.
Or do you take him the end of the play down to the 17?
Take the down and you take the time.
I know. I'm
going to tell you exactly what that play was. because I'm very familiar with it because it ended my career. That was, I don't know how far back to go to film, but I know teams have run that before. That was play action, jet sweep, get the running back into the deep on the wheel.
Wheel route?
And the wheel route was covered by the Colerain Cardinals. I just really wanted to say that.
Yeah.
I know you did.
All right, this time Colerain with the pooch kicker has got 2 men back, J.J. Davis, Sincere Jones.
Yeah, they're looking for a return here. With 3 minutes to go left in the first half and all 3 timeouts, they see an opportunity to score. And there's a kick, and it's a short kick, bounces at the 46-yard line.
Oh,
picked up and then taken up to the 45-yard line by J.J. Davis. Little gutsy.
If he got a cleaner hop, there's a flag on the other side. Might be a sideline warning on Coach Bolden.
Davis on the return.
But yeah, J.J. Davis is a very short kick. He comes up and he kind of tries to short hop it. If he gets a cleaned pop, he's gone.
Yeah, there was nobody in front of him.
And that's exactly the call, sideline warning on the Cardinals. So we're going to break in the action again. You can reach us in the booth at radioaware@colerain.com, or you can text me directly. And we're going to text here from a former Colerain Cardinal member of that state championship team, Andy Ehlert, listening in. He wanted to tell us, he's an EMT firefighter. He wanted to know that all of our diagnoses of a shoulder injury were not correct at all, and we should go back to school.
Well, learn us, Andy.
We smart, though.
1st and 10 now for the Cardinals on their own 45-yard line. 55 yards to pay dirt. Let's see if they can make it happen. Takes the handoff, keeps himself. He's going to go forward. Well defensed by St. Edward. Picking up 2 yards is Deontay Smith-Moore as the clock continues to click. All 3 timeouts still remain for the Cardinals.
And I think that one's on T.J. Ganella. He kind of had his man line of scrimmage, and he decided, and by the play, the quarterback counter, he's decided that guy's not coming forward, that he's out of the play, he can go up to the second level. Unfortunately, as soon as he made that decision to go up to the second level, that defensive tackle closed down and made the play.
7-0 here with 2 minutes and 15 seconds left in the first half. It has been a defensive struggle for both teams. Takes the handoff. Deontay Smith-Moore drops back to pass. He's got some pressure, and it's picked off. J.J. Davis was kind of nudged out of the way.
It was a clean play.
Of course it was a clean play, but I'm just saying he got nudged, and that's perfectly legal. The DB has every right to that ball that J.J. does, and as a result, it's the second turnover of the half for the Cardinals, and this one could be costly, as now the St. Edward team is going to have it 1st down and 10 at Colerain's 45-yard line.
Yeah, this is kind of the first time I've seen him all season pretty much try to force the ball. They went play action, and they had a clear-out route, an under route, and then J.J. was the third choice in that to dump off to the running back. He was covered. He should have never thrown that ball. It was a good play by the St. Edward.
Yeah, number 5, Dalen Jernigan. There's DeRozo, drops back to pass. He's trying to throw it deep, and it is going to be caught by the Michigan recruit, Quintel Kent. They're going to say he was inbounds all the way down to the 12-yard line, so that's exactly what I was talking about. They've got playmakers on this edge, and now still 2 minutes left in this half. Lots of time and 2 timeouts. St. Edward knocking on the door. Inside the red zone. You knew they were going to hit a big pass at some point with those receivers. The other receivers going to Ohio State on a baseball scholarship.
1st and 10 Eagles.
Okay, number 3 was moving ahead of time. There's going to be a flag. It's a sack in the backfield for the Cardinals on defense, but there was movement ahead of that.
We didn't realize. We talked about the one receiver going to be in Michigan for the other one. Number 4 is Mackenzie Wainwright. You talk about he's going to walk on or going to have a scholarship play baseball. He's not just going to go play baseball. There's a chance next year that he might be drafted in the 1st round of the Major League.
Yeah, he's that good. He's only a junior now, but he is that good. So as a result of that play, there was a false start call against St. Edward. That's a 5-yard penalty.
1st and 15 from the 17-yard line.
Interestingly, with this, I'm guessing that was more yards than what the sack would have been, because if you take the sack...
it's
a false start. That's right, pre-snap. Snap back. DeRozo's got it, throws it across the middle. It is caught by Kent, and he's going to be down at the 1-yard line. So just a slant pattern, and St. Edward is going to be down at the 1, but they're in prime field position to put 6 on the board.
Yeah, great timing route. Just take 1 step, 1.5 step drop, and just throw it to an area. It's tough to defend.
You just cannot turn the ball over in a state championship game, and the Cards have done it twice, costing him a touchdown on their first offensive series, and this one may cost him 1 for Edward.
And a quick timeout by Eds. He just realized he had 12 guys on the field. Everyone in the Ed stands is yelling, "There's no one guarding him! There's no one guarding him because there's 12 guys on the field."
Yeah, they went with 2 running backs for the first time, and I believe one of the wide receivers or a tight end should have been out of the ball game. They went shotgun, but they went pistol formation, brought in a fullback.
The
So it's 130. Was that 139? Is that 129?
139.
To the coach's hospitality.
That timeout really doesn't hurt us too much.
Cafeteria. Members will need to exit the stadium on the home side and use door N. Be sure to bring your membership card.
You know, with this big offensive line, you know, I always, you can need 1 yard, but you're going into the shotgun formation, and you're taking 5 yards away from the initial snap of the ball. So a lot of people say, hey, why don't they just kind of line up I formation, get the quarterback under center?
We'll see if they do here.
Eric Phillips is now in playing nose guard, so they've gone a little bit bigger up front.
So kind of an offset I formation, looks like. It's going to be tough to stop this. There's the handoff to Castleberry, and he stopped, but we got whistles before the play finished.
I believe it was a timeout by Tom Bolden. So we have both coaches back-to-back plays, sprinting down the sidelines, calling timeouts.
It gives us a chance.
Yeah, that's unfortunate luck because they stopped Castleberry. He didn't get in the end zone, but, I mean, obviously if you see something you don't like, you got to call the timeout.
And again, you can reach us in the booth as we have time here in the breaking the action. You can listen, or reach us in the booth at radio@wearecolerain.com. Listening in from Clearwater, Florida, former Colerain Cardinal Don Oostertag. That's all I got, guys.
I'm sorry. I thought you had more. So just as a reminder, we've got about 1 minute and 39 left here in the first half. We will step away during halftime as we have every week for 14 weeks. Kind of get refreshed, maybe hit the little broadcaster's room, and then we'll be back with stats for the first half between Colerain and St. Edward.
There's no other game to get a score for.
There are no other games to get a score for. So far in the Cincinnati, Northern Kentucky area, this is the second game of 4 state championship games this weekend. Beechwood in Northern Kentucky won earlier today. This is game number 2, and of course Wyoming goes tomorrow and Covcath on Sunday. So here we go. There's the handoff to Castleberry. He's going to take it. He's going to get into the end zone. Hands are up. Touchdown, St. Edward.
Yeah, Colerain with their second turnover of the ball game. This time St. Edwards really takes advantage of it. Had a short field, only had to go 50 yards, but after a big pass play, go to the run.
Yeah, that's unfortunate, but again, I mean, turnovers are going to be the bugaboo of any offense, and for an offense like Colerain's, it really can hurt you, especially when you put someone like Quintel Kent only needing to get 45 yards total for a score, and that's exactly what St. Edward does. Snap is back, hold is down, kick is up, and kick is good.
So with 1:36 to play in the first half, Colerain Cardinals 7, the St. Edward Eagles 7.
I'm going to be very honest with you, and this is maybe a little bit of bias coming out, but I'm genuinely surprised. I'm surprised at the effectiveness by which St. Edward defensively has been able to limit the big play. I expected a few early pops early in this game, and they have just not let it happen.
Well, Coach Kyle is a great coach. He's been at St. Edward 4 years and a lot of success. And you've got
Coach Lombardo?
Coach Lombardo, I'm sorry.
You're talking about St. Ignatius. This is completely different.
Right. I went.
He has been there 4 years, though.
He has been there.
He's been there exactly 4 years.
But a lot of success. Smart kids on that field, very well coached, and we've seen that. It's not giving up the big play.
I saw the stat early in the game. I think he's like 43-9 at St. Edward. I mean, you could argue that over the past 10 years, there's no team in Division I that is more successful than St. Edward. I think that's a fair argument.
Three state championships this decade. They're trying for a fourth. I mean, the only other teams you could argue that have been that dominating the decade is St. Ignatius in the 90s, maybe Moeller in the 80s.
People, I think, look at the 10-3 record and think, oh, well, geez, I mean, how hard can this be for Colerain? They're 14-0, and, you know, well, if you looked at St. Edward's schedule, again, we talked about it before, they beat both Moeller and Elder this year, as well as revenge wins over St. Ignatius and Mentor, and many people believe Mentor was the overwhelming favorite to come out of Region 1. The Cardinals were absolutely loaded offensively, and they were only held to 14 points in their rematch
and
with
their loss
St. Edward.
to Cass Tech was on a 65-yard Hail Mary as time expired.
Yep, so there's a low line drive kick right up the middle, taken up to the 20, the 25, the 30. Sincere Jones looking for some room. He's got the edge. Let's see if he can get all the way down the field. Good tackling and push him out of bounds, but not until he gets all the way down inside St. Edward territory. They're going to mark him out of bounds, I think, at the 35-yard line.
It's special teams. We've seen they opening the game with another pooch kick, and they do it right there, but Colerain anticipating that. Their deep men are playing a little bit farther up. They're nowhere near the goal line for this return. Nice block to the outside, so Colerain, 2 timeouts left, 1:28 left to play, and they're at the St. Edward's 37-yard line.
Be interesting to see how they come out.
26 yards on the kickoff return.
I'd like to see maybe just one of those quick little bubble screens outside. Just kind of spread out this defense here. There it is.
Yep, throws it out to J.J. Davis. He's going to try and take it. Oh, stutter steps, tried to make some men move. He's going to take it down to the 30-yard line. Clock is going to continue to run.
7 yards. Cardinals quickly get back to the line of scrimmage.
Yeah, what that'll do is just keep the linebackers honest, kind of spread out the safeties, maybe open up the middle.
Yep.
Said Colerain still with 2 timeouts, so plenty of time.
Caden Colesar once again on that tackle. Yep, 1 minute left to go here in the first half. Snap is back to Deontay Smith-Moore. He's going to keep it. He's going to stay on his feet. Again, trying to strip that ball, but he's going to get enough for the first down.
3 more yards.
Yep, all the way down. That's going to be a stoppage of clock because of the first down. 51 seconds to go. Inside the red zone, down to the 18-yard line.
Shows St. Edward's a little bit different look in what they're thinking a passing situation. They go shotgun and spread them out, and it's just a read option. Just the quarterback and Ivan Pace up there. Nice read. Goes down to 44 seconds left to play.
Well, if they could find a way even to get a field goal out of this.
Sincere Jones on the wheel.
Oh, fakes the pass to Deontay Smith-Moore. He tucks it. He's going to take it under. Again, the entire St. Edward defense is there. He's going to pick up 2 yards on the play, and that's a perfect time for a timeout.
And I don't know if that was by design or not.
Read. He looked up and he saw it was well covered there and tucked it and just ran.
Yeah, but I don't know if that was a run-pass option or that was a quarterback draw. It was. We don't know.
Is St. Edward doing something, Brandon O'Brien, defensively that is confusing us, or maybe
no? They're just making tackles.
They're just making and the best I compare it to is back in the day, and it's been a long time, is the Elder days, where we would
Ricky Brown days.
Well, back in the day, if you look at the final stats, we'd outgain them 350 to 240.
Right.
It's something 400 to 300 yards. But Elder is happy to continue to 3, 4, 5,
increase the number of chances for a possible turnover.
Exactly. Now, don't give up the huge home run play. Keep everything in front. Make the mistake.
Well, and this is a very composed team. They've been here before. They haven't seen Colerain.
Well, they haven't been here before. I mean, the program has, but these kids were freshmen the last time. Any of these seniors were freshmen the last time they were here. But to your point, they are composed. You're right. They're smart. They're disciplined. They're just like a GCL team.
2nd and 8 from the 16. 32 seconds to play. Cardinals have 1 timeout.
They need to be smart here with the ball. Sincere Jones in motion. He's going to take the speed pitch, run around wide, try and get wide. Is going to be tackled from behind. Good play by the St. Ed defense. They're actually going to lose yards. Good pursuit.
Cardinals have 2 plays called. They immediately get to the line of scrimmage, but they're going to have to hurry.
Yep. 17 seconds, 16 seconds, 15 seconds.
Well, they set up on a hash, and the referee set it up on the different hash.
Loss of 1, 3rd down and 9.
So here we go. He's going to drop back, looks the pass. He's going to throw it deep into the end zone. Freddie Johnson is there.
That's got to be pass interference in the end zone, but it's not going to matter. All it does is make it a shorter field goal. Let's be honest.
Yeah, it stops the clock. It doesn't put it at the 1-yard line.
And if time had expired, then there wouldn't have been an untimed down.
Right. Yeah, but the time did stop. There's 1 second left.
So on will come Chris Mangold to attempt a field goal.
Now, Brandon, does being thrown to the right hash, do they get to choose where they place this ball?
I have no idea.
We'll find out.
I'm assuming it's from wherever their original hash mark was.
Yeah.
So which?
These are, for an NFL stadium, these might be the shortest goalposts I have ever seen.
They're really short. I wonder, they probably changed them out. I'm sure these are not the ones the NFL play on for the
the NFL has
game.
narrower.
That's a really tough word to use.
So ball will be placed, the tee will be placed on the 16-yard line. It will be a 26-yard attempt after the pass interference in the end zone.
The referee's having a long discussion about something.
I think there should be 2 seconds, not.
Reset the game clock to 2 seconds.
Yeah, there should be 2 seconds instead of 1.
That makes a huge difference in this play.
So again, it'll be Ed Bolden to snap, Deontay Smith-Moore to hold, Chris Mangold to kick from 26 yards out.
Chris Mangold not asked to kick a whole lot of field goals this year because of the efficiency of the offense, but we need him now.
16-yard line. This will be a 26-yard attempt.
Snap is back, hold is down, kick is good! And at halftime here in the state championship, it's the Colerain Cardinals 10 The St. Edward Eagles 7, and I'm going to tell you one thing right here. Deontay Smith-Boy, your senior quarterback captain, he made that field goal. It was a bad snap.
That ball was behind him.
That ball's behind him from a kneel, caught it from stretching across his body, gets the ball down. Mango does the rest, puts the ball through the upright. So, go ahead.
I was going to say, just thanks for tuning in. 20 minutes on the clock. We will come back with about 5 minutes left to go in halftime with halftime stats and commentary for the second half. You've been listening to Colerain Cardinal football here on wearecolerain.com.
Ladies and gentlemen, from Cincinnati, Ohio, Colerain High School proudly presents the pride of Cardinal Nation, the Colerain Cardinal Marching Band. The Cardinal Band is led on the field by senior drum major Brianna Whittle. Has had a very successful competition season, winning Best in Class at the Taylor Band Premier and Mason Invitational. The band also earned an excellent rating at the Bands of America Super Regional in Indianapolis. The Cardinal Marching Band will be retiring their current 15-year-old uniforms for new ones next year after tonight's game. Cardinal Band begins our halftime show with a classic hit from legendary rock band Chicago that debuted in the early 70s. Here is Make Me Smile. We continue our show with one of Chicago's most famous hits, 25 or 6 to 4. We conclude our show tonight with Cardinal Nation's favorite, the Colerain Fight Song. Cardinal Band is under the direction of Mr. Jacob Page with Assistant Directors Glenn Greenwood and Kyle Hudson. Also assisting the band are John Boyes, Amanda Morris, and Josh Strange. The Cardinal Marching Band wishes to thank everyone in Cardinal Nation for your love and support during this extraordinary season. We are Colerain.
And now, ladies and gentlemen, please welcome to the field the 2018 Marching Eagles under the direction of Drum Major Steve Bass.
Tonight, the Marching Eagles will be performing their student-selected halftime show featuring hits from the 60s and 70s. Our first tune was made famous by the Jackson 5 in 1969. This is I Want You Back. We will feature the 2018 Color Guard on this next tune, released by the Rolling Stones in 1965. This is Satisfaction. The band's final number tonight features a medley of hits from the British rock band led by Freddie Mercury. These are Queen songs, Bohemian Rhapsody, another one, Fights the Dust, and We Will Rock You. gentlemen, please give another round of applause for our 2018 Marching Eagles.
Fans, please direct your attention to the video board. OHSAA Division I state finals are wrapping up this evening at Tom Benson Hall of Fame Stadium with two powerhouse teams. Excited to bring home the title. St. Edward's Eagles come in at 10-3. The Colerain Cardinals at 14-0. From the opening kick, returned by Ivan Pace Jr., 45-yard return set the tone for the evening. What looked like a promising drive by the Cardinals. Fumble by Pace in the red zone, and it was recovered by the Eagles.
And welcome back to Tom Benson's Hall of Fame Stadium here in Canton, Ohio, at the Pro Football Hall of Fame here in the OHSAA Division I Ohio High School State Championship between your Colerain Cardinals and the St. Edward Eagles. The score at halftime here, 10-7. Your Colerain Cardinals lead the game. A quick recap of some first half stats. 10-7, Colerain over Lakewood St. Edward. Colerain has 12 first downs, St. Edward 7. Colerain with 31 rushing attempts for 142 yards. St. Edward with 12 rushing attempts for just 37 yards. Cardinals, 23 yards passing on 2 of 3 throwing. The Edward Eagles have 91 yards on 7 of 7 passing. The only incompletion in this game is the interception thrown by Deontay Smith-Moore. Total offensive plays, 34 for the Colerain Cardinals for 165 yards, 19 plays for 128 yards for St. Edward. No fumble or punt returns for either team of any yardage, just short ones. Kickoff returns. Here's the big one. Just 10 yards on Edwards, 1 return, 2 kick returns for the Colerain Cardinals that total 90 yards and are for the large part the difference in this game early. 1 interception by St. Edward, that one for 0 yards. Punts, 1 for the Cardinals for 32 yards, 3 for Edward. They have a 46-yard average on those punts. 1 fumble lost by the Colerain Cardinals. No penalties on the Colerain Cardinals. 5 penalties for 44 yards for the St. Edwards Eagles. Time of possession, Colerain Cardinals headed for 15 minutes and 54 seconds. St. Edwards, 11 minutes and 6 seconds. Colerain Cardinals, 2 of 5 on third down. Edwards, 1 of 4. Cardinals are 1 of 1 on first down. Cardinals have had 3 red zone chances and put it in twice. Edwards, 1 of 1 in their red zone chances. They put 3 minutes back on the final clock after this 1-minute countdown. Individually, Deontay Smith-Moore, 2 of 3 for 23 yards, a touchdown, and an interception. For Edward, Garrett Zuro passing 7 of 7 for 91 yards. Rushing, Ivan Pace leads all rushers with 65 yards on 14 attempts. Deontay Smith-Moore, 34 yards on 9 attempts. J.J. Davis and Sincere Jones have 4 attempts each, 26 for Davis, 17 for Sincere Jones. Rushing for Edward, Joseph Romani with 1 carry for 5 yards. Jordan Castleberry, 5 carries, 21 yards. And Garrett Rizzo, 6 carries for just 11 yards. Receiving, Cardinals, Sincere Jones, 1 catch, 16 yards and a touchdown. J.J. Davis, 1 catch, 7 yards. Quintel Kent for Edwards, 6 catches, 78 yards along of 33. Joseph Rosalco, 1 catch, 13 yards. Kicking, Chris Mangold, 1 of 1 field goals for 26 yards and 1 of 1 from extra points. He's got 4 points in the first half. Wow, what a name for the Edward kicker. I didn't realize this on the first one. Gianluca Russo, 1 up on extra points for 1 point. Lawson Dandusky with 1 punt for 32 yards, but it was downed inside the 20-yard line. Aaron Turchin with 3 punts for 140 yards, a 46-yard average, along with a 60-yard long and 2 kept inside the 20. Kickoff return. Here Jones 1 for 47. Ivan Pace 1 for 43 yards. Those have been big differences in this game. Defensively, Michael Best leads all tacklers for the Colerain Cardinals with 5. Richard Johnson and Caden Colsar lead Edwards with 8 each. Scoring drives. Deontay Smith-Moore completed a pass of 16 yards for a touchdown. Deontay Smith-Moore 2. Sincere Jones made it 6-0 at the 4:58 mark. Chris Mangold added a kick. And the extra point made it 7-0. Jordan Castlebar 1 yard out at the 1:36 mark of the second quarter. Russo added the extra point, 7-7 with 1:36 to play in the half, but as time expired, Chris Mangold hit from 26 yards out, and at halftime, that's your score, 10-7.
You know, we've seen an evenly matched game, offensively, defensively, struggling. It's been the special teams on either team. It's kind of been the catalyst, the difference, the big returns, too, by Sincere Jones, and the punting of the St. Edwards punter. I mean, it's really flipped the field a couple times, taking away the advantage Colerain has on field position. We know St. Edwards won the snap, or won the flip, to start the game. They deferred. They will be getting the ball the second half, bringing it back to the Colerain offense. We said lack of a wind here tonight. We saw only 1 kickoff from the Colerain kicker, and he gets a lot of height with no return. St. Edwards does have several returns for touchdowns this year. You got your Michigan recruit in the center of the field, but Colerain coverage team has done a really good job covering the kicks this year.
So
we're awaiting the TV break to end.
I was just going to say, we still got our Spectrum guys standing pat on the 20.
And again, thanks all everybody listening at home, our largest audience of the season. Remember, it's radio@wearecolerain.com. You can send us an email or give us a chat right there. Let us know. As Mangold's teeing it up now, here we're ready for the second half.
Whistle ready for play.
Wouldn't be surprised at all to see St. Edward try and test Colerain deep again here on this first series. Mangold gets his foot underneath it, and the second half is underway. Catch is made at the 5-yard line, taken up to the 10, the 15. Let's break right through the middle. Good special teams by St. Edward. The ball is taken all the way out to the 38-yard line, and that's where the Eagles will start off 1st and 10.
A really good wedge set up by Edward. And usually we like to see that the Colerain Cardinals try to kick it high, get the guy, kind of make him make the first move, but Quintel Kent didn't have to make a move until he just made the 1 cut through the line, never had to break his stride, and gets it out to the 37.
So St. Ed's, nothing different here. 3 wide receivers, shotgun formation, 1 running back dotting the I.
Zero in the shotgun, takes the ball, hands it off to Castleberry. He takes it up the middle, and that's just the offensive line of St. Ed's just pushing that play 4 more yards down the field.
Yeah, averaging over almost 270 pounds on this offensive line. Not quick, but very strong. Get a great push.
66, who of course is not on the program. Was that 66? I know 72 was out there. Zach Sepp is a 315-pound offensive lineman. 2nd down and 4 for St. Edward. There's a handoff again. Still on his feet, now taking it the other way is Castleberry. He's going to get tackled, but not before he gets into Colerain territory down to the 48-yard line. 1st down for St. Edward.
That's the dangers of a short in stature running back. He can hide behind his defensive line. Colerain's defensive line hit a great push up the middle. There was nowhere for him to go, but he just kind of waited and kind of darted out and found a little seam.
We know something about short running backs. There's no doubt about that. 1st and 10, the senior Zuro's got the ball now. Hands it off one more time to Castleberry. He's up the middle and he's into the open. He's going to be caught, but not until he gets all the way down to the 20-yard line. Another big run for St. Ed's. They're finding something here offensively, and they're in the red zone officially. It'll be 1st down and 10 for St. Edward.
They're not doing anything special. They're just lining up and blocking the men in front of them. Don't know what kind of adjustment they made in their blocking scheme, but finding success early in the second half.
Defense needs to step up here.
And there's your defense stepping up. Ivan Pace Jr., your Division I Defensive Player of the Year with the tackle on the read option for a 5-yard
Yeah,
loss.
they run their read option, and they've had success giving it to Castleberry, and this time he hadn't hit him yet, but he forced him to make an early decision and keep the ball to live and make another play, but Ivan Pace with the big sack.
So 5-yard loss on the play. It'll be 2nd down and 15 back to the 25-yard line.
Gotta think the ball is going. He's got 6 catches in the first half. Quintel Kent got a little extra coaching
How about
there.
one-on-one coverage out there?
He's got double team.
No, he's got double team coverage, Quintel Kent. They don't want to let him get the ball. Castleberry goes in motion. It's going to be a pass to him to see if they can get everybody blocked. He's going to get some yards, but good pursuit.
Mike Best.
Was that Mike Best on the tackle? Yep, 25. Only a 5-yard gain, so it'll be
3rd and 10.
3rd and 10.
20-yard line.
By one-on-one, we had Sincere Jones, number 1, covering number 1.
Yeah, that's a tall order for Sincere Jones. I mean, he's one of our probably the best DB on the team, and he's had a great season. He's certainly athletic and fast enough. But again, Quintel Kent, number 1 for St. Edward, going to the University of Michigan for a reason.
The referees stop the time. Yeah, okay.
Just
an equipment issue.
Yeah, just trying to get Sincere Jones' helmet fully buckled. You got to think they're going to go short side of the field here. They're going to put 3 on one side and maybe work the other.
They need to get to the 10-yard line for a 1st down. Zuro ducks back, looks to pass, doesn't see anything he likes, takes off. He gets down to the 15, stays on his feet, and missed tackle is going to give St. Edwards the 1st down. Mike Best, making a play earlier, couldn't quite get his mitts around Zuro enough to prevent the quarterback from picking up what he needs for the 1st down.
Yeah,
if you double team like that, you unoccupy the space, and that's exactly where Zuro run. That would have been where Jalen Thomas was, but he's double teaming on the outside, and it leaves open the open space.
So there's a handoff to Castleberry, and he's going to take it down inside the 5-yard line. So St. Edward coming out on this opening series and setting the tone and pushing the Cardinals all the way back defensively inside their 5-yard line. This Colerain defense not used to getting pushed around like this, and St. Edward using that beef up front.
They're not letting him time to rest. They're going right away to the line of scrimmage.
Snap back. There's a handoff once again to Castleberry, and he's going to take
Corleone.
Yep. Corleone takes him. Only
that ball came loose, and an offensive lineman has it.
After the whistle.
It's one of those, we're so far up here, and the whistles have come so late. Somehow the offensive tackle ended up with the ball, but you're right, the whistle blew it.
And we've seen a change up front from the Cardinals. Jalen Thomas is in an outside linebacker, and Cardinals have put Eric Phillips' hand in the dirt. He's playing defensive line right now for the Colerain Cardinals.
It gives a little bit more beef in the middle to stop the run and speed to the outside. A big 3rd down and goal, ball at the 4.
Got to find a way to stock him here. Castleberry, the only setback, offset eye.
No, that running back moved.
Well, it doesn't make a difference. He got taken down.
Yeah,
got no yards on the play.
Everyone kind of froze.
The referee's hands flexed and almost went to his
Well, I
plate.
think everyone kind of froze because they anticipated it coming, and Castleberry is stopped for no gain.
You know, he can flex and go in motion if they called it that quick, but yeah, he rocks back and forth. Colerain makes a stop to bring on the field goal unit.
It will be a 20-yard attempt just inside the right hash.
God, when's the last time we saw a block?
Russo has only attempted 3 field goals all year. Not that much less actually than Mangold. Snap is back, hold is down,
Lots
kick is
of
up.
movement up front. Colerain Cardinals jumping around. Referees throw a flag. It's going to be a false start.
Look at that.
Yeah, the defense jumping around the center caused one of the inside interior linemen, right at, I believe, his guard or left tackle, move. So the extra point is no good. They're going to move it back. Field goal attempt.
That helps a little. I don't know that makes all that much difference.
Well, it makes a difference because he just made it.
Yeah, I mean, other than that, you're going to force him to kick.
You're going to make him take it again.
Take 3 points on the board, move it 5 yards back.
And they, for some reason, put it on the right hash. Make this a little more difficult.
Ball back to the 8-yard line. 4th down and goal to go.
Big Eric Phillips there.
Clear the rest of your evening, folks. This is going to be a phenomenal second half of football.
25-yard attempt and a timeout.
Referees? I think they're going to
I think Lombardo's made a good point.
Talking about the hash.
Where the ball was placed in the hash. It was in between the NFL hash and the regular hash, and they put it all the way on the outside hash. if that's what they're doing, then that's a no.
Yeah, he just picked up the
That's
ball.
exactly what he's going to move it to the middle. And this is a good call. That's
it's the proper call.
It's the proper call, and that's a good job of coaching by Lombardo. He's got to give his player a little better angle here. And again, I was surprised he moved without that hash.
Yeah, good observation on your
You
part.
pointed it out right away.
Yep, good observation, brother. So here we go after the 5-yard penalty now. Ball set on the 8-yard line. Extra point, or excuse me, field goal attempt. Snap is back. Oh,
They moved again. They moved again. Full start.
So now it's going to be back to the 13-yard line.
It's that same, I believe it was the same left side.
And they were happy about the last. I don't think they're happy about that one. He missed that one. I'm just saying. I know that you can't decline the penalty, but he missed it.
We'll decline the penalty and take the result of the missed field goal attempt.
So it is now a 30-yard field goal attempt.
And we have more whistles.
I think they're going to reset the clock because the clock ran.
Yep.
The play clock.
Please reset the game clock.
The game clock.
7:37.
Put 4 seconds back on the clock.
Second
I know.
Absolutely, yeah.
I mean, the 1 second they put back on for us was insignificant, but you don't know here in the second half.
Every second counts. 7:37 left to go here in the third quarter. Colerain up 10-7. St. Edward trying to tie it. Snap is back. Hold is down. Another flag.
Offsides, Colerain. No movement this time. He must have been lined up offsides.
Encroachment. 22 of the defense.
Called that one on Jalen Thomas on the outside.
Well, we do it again.
Is this the fourth attempt?
He's attempted more field goals in this drive than he has all season. This is his fourth attempt, and he's only attempted 3 all year.
That's right.
Wow.
I mean, ultimately, you got to believe that this is going to go through, and they're going to end up tying the game. It's such a short distance to have to kick the ball, and he's shown every single time he's got the legs for it. The 25-yard attempt for Russo. Snap is back, hold is down, kick is up, and kick is good.
So, with 7:33 to play in the third quarter, it's the St. Edward Eagles tying the game. Colerain Cardinals 10, St. Edward Eagles 10.
The St. Edwards did what they wanted to coming out of the second half. Just a time-consuming, solid drive and pick up points. So again, let's thank our corporate sponsors one more time. We couldn't do anything without you. Queen City Running, Valley Metalworks, CAI Insurance, Oxworth Blood Center, Cincinnati Police Credit Union, State Farm Insurance, Shock Tile and Carpet, Skyline Chili, Holding Realtors, Underground Sports Shop, Friedhoff Accounting and Tax Service, Meyer, Joe Capel Lawn and Landscape, Midwest Stonescape, Paul Young Funeral Home, NovaCare, La Rosa's, Northgate Ford, Game On Sports Bar, Life Touch, Fast Signs, Air Pest Control, Plato's Closet, Supercuts, Langen Meats, Quaker Steak and Lube, Joseph Toyota Cincinnati, Northwest Association of Educators, Friendship Baptist Church, and Long Shaver.
And again, you can reach us in the booth at radio@Colerain.com. We got several emails here. We got one from Vincent Forcellini, who was on the offensive tackle from the 04 team, listening in from Louisville, Kentucky. We got Steve Shea, class of 75 from Charlotte, North Carolina. Buddy Campbell listening in as well.
Buddy likes to be called Eugene.
I'm sure he actually doesn't. And listening,
good friends going way back.
Listening, Georgia Grooms from Kansas City, Missouri, listening in, giving a shout out to his nephew Will Coleman. Go Cards!
And another one, Scott Schuster, another 2005 grad, 2006 grad. So thanks for listening in. Love to hear from you guys. Remember, that's radio@wearecolerain.com.
Cardinals have been really, really good on their kick return so far.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, they've just tried to pooch kick around him, and it's kind of the blocking scheme. They pooched it up the middle, but kind of set almost a sweep block.
Let's see what we've got here. There's a little onside kick that they're going to try.
And they get.
And I think they're going to get it, and that's not surprising at all that they would try to do something like that here, because they've not been able to stop Colerain from returning the ball, and Colerain, I think, was ready for that onside kick. They just couldn't get to the ball first.
It was perfectly executed. It was pretty much the kicker kicked the ball, stepped in front of it, and it just kind of covered himself. It's tough to defend but you've got to run through that player. I've seen Edwards do that before, catch Colerain off guard.
Yeah, I was just following a line on an online message board of that's following the game, and someone actually called that about 5 minutes ago. So now Colerain's really got themselves in a bit of a hole here, tied at 10, right at the 50-yard line. Onside kick by St. Edward. They get it, drops back, looks to pass, pressure in the middle, and he's going to go down. The Colerain defensive pressure gets to DeZuro, and he's going to lose 4 yards.
Yeah, coverage sack.
Yeah, double move there. They faked the little wide receiver screen. They went and sent 2 guys shrinking on one, the other, DeRuzo looking deep. He just doesn't have the time, and Eric Phillips finishes it off with a sack.
Eric Phillips and give Donovan Owens also a little bit of half sack right there.
47-yard line.
And again, Eric Phillips not playing outside linebacker in the game. He's got his hand in his dirt. Jalen Thompson's playing the outside linebacker.
So 2nd down and 14. Zero takes the ball, hands it off to Castleberry. He's going to take it up to the 50, and then probably give him to the 49-yard line.
Yeah, right about the original line of scrimmage.
Yep, so gets those 5 yards back. But now it'll be 3rd down.
It's a big down. Adds all the momentum right now. This is a 3rd and 10. And if you can force the punt, you're kind of in a situation where, you gave the onside kick, but you didn't give anything up besides that.
3rd down and 10.
Yeah, kind of an area, though. If they pick up 7, 8, they might go. It might be 2-down territory.
Well, if you risk it on the onside kick, I can absolutely see where you're right, Brian. We'll see. So 3rd down and 10 for the Cardinals. This is a big defensive stop they need. They got to get all the way down to the 39-yard line. Zero drops back to pass. There's pressure up the middle. It's a screen pass picked up by Mike Bess, and they are not going to get the 1st down.
They're only going to pick up 2 right yard. Mike Bess is right there, and Eric Phillips. He's been playing defensive line, drops into coverage right there. Bess, the super sophomore, reads it perfectly. Only a 1-yard gain, a big defensive stop.
Yeah, Mackenzie Wainwright, the baseball player, he had it, and he thought he had eyes on 6. There was no one else in the middle of the field, but Mike Bess does a fantastic job. Last second makes the read and makes the tackle for just a 1-yard gain.
So that'll force at least what appears to be a punt. Can't imagine they'll be faking here at midfield. Snap is back. Here comes the punt. A little pressure on the outside. Once again, it's a little pooch. And it's caught. I think that's Sincere Jones who's got it. First tackler gets to him. Second tackler gets to him there and tries to help as well. Holds on to the ball. Takes it out to the 26-yard line. Maybe the 27, I think, is where they may mark it. And the Colerain offense, with only 5:29 left to go in this 3rd quarter,
they finally get
their hands on the ball. They need a big play. They've got to break one because St. Edward they've done a great job this game holding the offense in check. It's 4 yards, 5 yards, 6 yards, and again the 2 turnovers really the story for the Colerain offense in the first half.
Well, they almost called 3 with giving up the onside kick.
Yep.
10 at their own 27-yard line.
So just do what you do, fellas. Under center is Deontay Smith-Moore. Takes the ball, hands it off to Ivan Pace, lowers his shoulder.
Going to pick up 3 yards. Maybe 2.
Yeah, I think they give him 2 yards on that. Not a whole lot there, but if nothing else, give your defense a break, right? Let's get down the field.
Well, your
and let's
defense,
score.
except for Ivan Pace, but yes.
Yeah.
And Sincere Jones.
Right. But the other 9 guys out there on offense are fresh-legged.
29-yard line, gain of 2, 2nd down 8.
And they showed on their last series on a short field with not a whole lot of time that they can certainly move the ball.
They're saying Ed's safeties are a little bit closer to the hand, working their way up.
There's a handoff once again to Ivan Pace. And he's tackled right at the 30-yard line. They're going to have, I guess, again, it's right over the middle. Going to pick up more positive yards on the play, so that's good. But now it's 3rd and long, excuse me.
Be about 3rd and 6.5 for the Cardinals.
No option there. That was just a straight handoff.
Are you surprised by the first 2 play calls? Nothing to the outside?
Well, again, the Cardinals made adjustments at halftime, and so did the Edwards Eagles. It's really the first time we got to see a look at it.
Yep.
So far, the Eagles' adjustments have worked better.
Well, you got to believe they're going to be expecting a jet sweep or some kind of a wide pitch here. There goes Sincere Jones in motion. And there's a handoff again right over the middle, and kind of really questioning, I guess, those decisions. Colerain's going to go 3 and out on that first series, and those were 3 straight handoffs to Ivan Pace, and Tom Bolden is not happy on the sideline. He must have seen something that Deontay didn't.
Well, this was the adjustment last week against 6 Central. You run the fullback dive, but kind of at the last second, Ivan Pace bends it inside a little more, takes his train track from his dive position a little back, bent inside, but it's not there, and I think that's Coach Bolden. If you just stay on your normal track, you probably have room to run.
Let's see if JJ can get him to jump off sides with the run stop. 5 yards will give him the first down. Didn't even do it. It's a high snap and a good kick by Lawson Sandusky.
It doesn't.
Oh, it doesn't. Unfortunately, that one bounces, and it's going to be picked up by Colerain, but it's going to be down at the 42-yard line. So Good field position for St. Edward as they're going to get the ball for the third time already in this quarter with only 3:19 left to go.
Yeah, we see again the unconventional punting style, Lawson Sandusky. Just kind of punches at it, wants to get a roll, and this time it hits the ground and really doesn't go anywhere.
Well, he had to rush that one. It was a high snap. He had to jump and get it. The pressure was coming, and he just did what he could to get it away.
Yeah, no, it was a good play. Just glad to have seen it, the ball bounce a little bit better our way. There's a handoff to Castleberry. He jumps in the middle. I'll tell you what, that Ed's offensive line is beginning to kind of instill their will on our defensive line. He moved 6 yards before he was touched.
Well, there's not much of a push right there. They kind of occupied their man, and Castleberry just kind of picked and chose. It's almost a zone blocking scheme. Let him find the holes rather than pushing the holes.
2nd down and 2, 8 yards on that first down run. There's a handoff once again to Castleberry, and he's going to hit the line hard at the 50. He's going to get to the 49. I think he's going to be just short of the first down.
Yeah, it depends on the spot.
They need the 48. The spot is at the 49. It'll be 3rd and 1.
As Luke Bolden.
But again, St. Edward, knowing that this defense has been out there a lot this quarter, they're going quick to the line. They're not taking a whole lot of time. Zuro coming off the sideline, getting the play call. Back into the huddle now.
So 3rd down and 1. They're at the 49 of Colerain. Need to get to the 48.
Really hard to see them stopping them on 1st down here. I can't imagine they'll do anything other than just hand it off. And Zuro decides to just keep it and run for himself. And he's going to have enough. He's going to run wide. He's going to stay in bounds and get tackled out of bounds. But he does get all the way to the 40-yard line. So there's a flag way behind the play.
I think it's going to be on Alonzo Kendricks.
The first really penalty against the Colerain Cardinals. Didn't see it. Way on the opposite side of the play, I believe Kendricks and get tied up with the wide receiver. But the first down is going to be even added to 15 yards from the end of the play. He's got to take it all the way down to the Colerain 25. The first mental mistake by the Colerain Cardinals. And it was the opposite side of the field.
Yeah, I mean, it was
40 yards away from the play.
Just completely unnecessary. And I know he's out there fighting and clawing and scratching. I get it.
25-yard line.
There's a handoff to Castleberry. He takes it, and he's going to pick up about 2 yards on that run. More importantly, I mean, the clock just continues to eat away here. I know the game is tied, but Eds has got all of the momentum right now.
Like you said, the defense has been on the field this entire quarter nearly.
Oh, yeah. I mean, how long was the offense out there?
3 plays.
30 seconds? 40 seconds, maybe? I mean, nothing.
Yeah, it's still 10-10. Colerain defense challenged right now, like 2nd down and 8.
Yeah. Zuro's got the ball. Takes the handoff, throws it across the middle. It is caught by Kent, who takes the inside route, and he's into the end zone for a touchdown.
Colerain did everything right on defense. Crashed on the outside, forced the early throw, but the quarterback stays perfect. Gets one-on-one coverage with the pressure in his face. I tell you what, that's a great play by that quarterback.
Well, Kent cut right in between Jakari Patterson and Sincere Jones. I'm not sure. Sincere kind of raised his hands as if to say, you know, where's my help? But at the end of the day, if you're on him, right, you've just got to stay on him. And Eds now is in a really good position, going up 6 points with the extra point pending.
Snap is back. Colt is down. Kick is through, just barely through. With 1:31 to play in the third quarter, it's the St. Edward Eagles 17. Your Colerain Cardinals 10.
Yeah, all the momentum, this whole entire third quarter, we've only seen the Colerain offense 3 plays. We've got 2 possessions for the Eagles and 10 unanswered points. Colerain Cardinal, when's the last time they've been behind in a game?
Week 1 of the playoffs against St. Edward.
Yep.
2-0.
So they have gone almost 5 full weeks without trailing in a game. And now at 1:31 left in the third quarter of the state championship game, they find themselves down 7. Still lots of time, obviously, but this offense has got to find a way to get themselves. I feel like they've kind of lost their swag. Don't you feel? Doesn't that kind of feel that way?
I don't know if they've lost their swag as St. Ed's has just gained theirs.
And on top of that, I don't know if you've really had time to establish any. I mean, you've 3 plays. That's what they've had in this quarter. And St. Edward is really just, and we saw it last week against Pick Central. Pick Central dominated the third quarter. St. Edward so far has dominated this third quarter. We'll see how the Cardinals bounce.
They deferred to the second half, and a great coach can make adjustments, and Colerain's now going to, they got a hole to come out of. Down only 1 score. Lots of time left.
Yeah, but they've been outscored 17-3 after their first touchdown. So the momentum again clearly on Ed's side, but Colerain is a very good football team, senior led. They'll find a way to get out of this. There's a kick. It's a low line drive. Take it inside the 20, up to the 25, the 30. Again, good tackle. J.J. Davis takes it out to the 35-yard line. Now they're actually going to mark him at the 34.
Yeah, he popped up at the 35. He tuck and rolled at about the 33-yard line.
Yeah, got to give a shout-out here from Harrison, Ohio, Teresa Hellwig, a 34 years at Northwest School District bus driver.
That's awesome. Thank you, Teresa, for your service.
Lori Brady, class of 89, listening from Delhi Township.
Tiffany Hoffman, class of 94, from Alabama, listening to this evening.
Welcome.
Kathy Schlomer listening in.
First and 10 Cardinals.
So 1st and 10 from the Cardinals' own 34. Gone back to the wing formation. They've kind of widened out their splits a little bit. Got an offsides, the nose tackle. Makes contact with the center, a free 5 yards.
Yep, there's no excuses for that one.
Yeah, he just jumped, and as soon as he jumped, he put his hands on his helmet as if to say, that's me.
You know, a lot of teams try to anticipate Colerain because it's pretty much a rhythm cadence.
Mm-hmm.
Don't know if Colerain changed something up there or he just got a little too excited.
I don't even know if Deontay Smith was under center when he jumped.
First down and 5.
Didn't look like it. First down and 5, Sincere Jones in motion. Oh, there's a ball on the ground. Deontay Smith Moore jumps on top of it. There's the mess, the mess in the mesh, if you will. Looked as if he went to hand it off and to Ivan Pace Jr., and it just ended up on the ground.
He was a little behind on the handoff and really had to reach him. When he pulled it back, tried to get it back from him, it was just,
Yep.
But picks up almost a yard and a half, 2 yards. Going to make it second down and long 4.
So positive rush for Deontay Smith Moore.
We'll take it.
Under a minute to go here in the third quarter. Cards trailing 17-10. Hole right over the middle there. There's a jump handoff to Ivan Pace Jr., and he gets hit right at the line of scrimmage.
3 yards short.
Yep. I'm just really surprised at their commitment to running the ball in the middle. I mean, they've not gone wide yet in the 5 plays they've had this quarter.
Well, you soften up the middle to set up the outside.
But it's also the defense setting you up. They're boxing on their reads. They're trying to make things happen up front that make Deontay to make the wrong choice.
So again, you're right, kudos. Sometimes you got to tip your cap. The Eds defense has done a fantastic job. There's the fake handoff. Deontay Smith Moore keeps it. He tucks it. He's going to have enough for the first down. Gets it all the way out to the 50-yard line. The clock will stop with 14 seconds as they move the chains.
You know, you always play the better team. You know, as you progress in this tournament, the better competition.
Absolutely.
Last week's game against Pick Central, hard-hitting, physical game.
Yep.
This is even more physical.
Hey, look, there's 70 other teams in Division I in the state of Ohio. They're not playing this weekend for a reason. Oh, it looks like we're going to have a flag. I think that's going to be a motion penalty against Colerain. Yep. That's going to take them back to their own 45-yard line.
Yeah, I didn't see who that was. Was it tight end on the left side or?
So 0 penalty yards in the first half for the Cardinals. This half, a different story.
What I have noticed is TJ Ganella, who did try to come back in, is back out. Brian Beavers has put back on his different jersey. He normally wears 24. He puts on a lineman jersey 71 when he plays offensive line. Brian Beavers has that 71 jersey on. You can tell because it's the one that's a little different from everyone else. It's an older jersey.
First down and 15.
And that will do it. The final play of the third quarter. After 3 quarters play here in the state championship game, it's the St. Edward Eagles 17, your Colerain Cardinals 10. We have 1 quarter left in the 2018 season.
Well, again, thanks again to our corporate sponsors, Long Schaefer, Friendship Baptist Church, Northwest Association of Educators, Joseph Toyota of Cincinnati, Quaker Steak and Lube, Langen Meats, Supercuts, Plato's Closet, Arab Pest Control, Fast Signs, Life Touch, Game on Sports, Northgate Ford, La Rose's, NovaCare, Paul Young Funeral Home, Midwest Stonescapes, Joe Capel Lawn and Landscaping, Meyer, Friedhoff Accounting and Tax Service, The Underground Sports Shop, Hooding Realtors, Skyline Chili, Shock Tile and Carpet, State Farm Insurance, Cincinnati Police Credit Union, Hawksworth Blood Center, CAI Insurance, Valley Metalwork, and Queen City Running.
Michael from St. Ed.
The St. Edward Eagles looking in the... I want to give a shout-out to Adam Mendoza, the play-by-play guy for the St. Edward Eagles radio network. He puts together a kind of a game notes packet. I'm sure he does it every single week for St. Edwards. I'm sure just an absolutely thorough packet. Eagles by the numbers for 2018. The Eagles are 8-1 when they are leading after 3 quarters. So obviously you don't have to be a rocket scientist to figure out with only 1 quarter left to play and only touching the ball twice in the 3rd quarter. Possessions are going to come at a premium here for the Cardinals in the 4th quarter, and you hate to think this is the case, but I mean, is this almost a must-score drive for Colerain?
Well, you got to get something going on. What they have, maybe 4 possessions in the first half.
Just 17 yards in the 3rd quarter for the Colerain Cardinals.
Yeah, I mean you can't do anything with only 17 yards. So
DeRuzzo is still 10 of 10 passing for Edwards. They only have 232 yards, but the Cardinals only have 182.
182 total yards of offense.
Yeah, the short yards, the turnovers.
And as we mentioned earlier at the beginning of the broadcast, on average, they only give up 317 yards and 20 points per game. So they're right now running underneath. I mean, they're doing a better job against this Colerain offense than they did on average throughout the course of their regular season, which is, again, I mean, I'm just a little shell-shocked. For a team that doesn't ever see the triple option, they have done a really good job of slowing this team down and not letting them do what they have done to every other team this year.
Well, Colerain has moved the ball, but they have taken away the big play. We've said it again.
Right, but I mean, that's what we've done all year, though. We've had that big play, and we just don't have it. There's the handoff to Ivan Pace Jr. again, and on 1st and 15, to pick up 2 yards on the play.
Yeah, still waiting for him. Maybe spread the field out, a little bubble screen.
Well, I guess my concern is that you don't want to get to a point where you start doing things that you wouldn't normally or naturally do.
We've kind of done that all year. We've thrown, he can throw the ball. We've thrown, 6, 7 times. We don't throw it a lot.
Right. No, we don't. You haven't needed to.
But get your athletes in space.
There you go. There's another handoff up the middle to Ivan Pace. Nope, I was wrong. Deontay Smith-Moore kept it. He's going to get all the way up past the original line of scrimmage, so they make up the penalty and then some. It's going to be 3rd down and 8.
At the St. Edward 48, so they'll need to get to the Edward 40-yard line for the 1st down.
Yeah, interesting part of the field that they're on. If this is 2-down territory, I think with down 7 points, just 1 score, limited possessions.
I think it depends on what they get. I think if they have less than 4 yards to go, maybe they get it.
False motion there by J.J. Davis. No jump from Edwards.
So Deontay Smith-Moore under center, takes the ball, hands it off one more time to Ivan Pace. And I appreciate what they're doing, but I'm going to tell you right now, they're going to have to do something else. They are keying on Ivan Pace. They got 2 hats on him every time he touches the ball. He can't put the whole team on his back and get all these shots by himself.
He picked up 2. Interesting. Going to make it 4th down and 5 at
4th down and 6.
Or
they need to get to the 40-yard line.
They're going to leave the offense out there.
No, they're not.
Nope. No, they're not. Okay.
The Colerain chooses to punt on 4th down and 6 very early here in the 4th quarter.
Lawson Sandusky has played some quarterback, a good athlete back there.
There's no one back for Ed.
Dropping one back there, they're going to probably not rush him. Anticipate, going to protect against the fake.
It's not going to fake. That's a good kick by Lawson Sandusky. I think a fair catch was called for and taken at the 12-yard line. So the Colerain defense will be back on the field again after the offense once again stutters. Tom Bolden and Deontay Smith-Moore are going to have to get their heads together and figure out some way to penetrate what has all of a sudden become an impenetrable St. Edward defense.
Well, this is now on your defense right now. You've got to get a stop. You've got to save some clock. You've really got to, a turnover here would be big, but they're not going to do anything fancy, trusting their defense and having success just running right at the Colerain Cardinals.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, and they've got time on their side. There's a handoff to Castleberry. He takes it, dances, makes a few guys miss. He's going to pick up maybe 1 yard on the play, maybe.
And that's the official spot. Just 1.5, maybe kind of close. It's not. It's 2nd and 8.5.
Regardless of the outcome of this game, this has been such a tremendous season for Colerain. It's been so much fun. We've had so much fun doing this. And, couldn't be happier to be ending it here in Canton, win or lose. But, boy, you really would like to see them finish the job and somehow find a way to win this football game. 2nd down and 9 on the scoreboard. Snap is back. Fakes the handoff. Zuro keeps it. He's going to run across the middle. Going to pick up about 3, maybe 4 yards on the play.
Cardinals jump up as if there's a fumble, but the refs have said Zuro was down.
I think it's just Zuro.
Whatever. Zuro.
Zuro. I think that's how they pronounce it.
Zorro.
No, not Zorro.
DeZorro?
No, just Zuro.
DeZorro.
Z-U-R. You are killing me, Brandon. Zuro. Z-U.
D-Z-U-R-O. DeZorro.
Okay. 3rd down and 4. Big 3rd down for the Cardinals here. Would love to see a 3 and out. Moving on the defensive line. Zuro drops back, looks to pass. He's going to throw it out, and it is caught by number 4. Tackle is made. Oh, no, it's not. He's got it, and he gets it out at plenty for the 1st down up to the 30-yard line. Once again, perfect on the pass is senior quarterback Garrett Zuro.
What a great timing route. The Colerain Cardinals were very close to picking that up, but he just runs the perfect route, turns, the ball is there waiting for him.
And he still does not have an incompletion.
He's played, honestly, quite frankly, as far as the game goes, he's probably your MVP. If St. Edward were to go on and win, he's just played fantastic. He's got the ball now, and it's going to be another fake handoff. He's going to keep it, and there's pursuit, but he gets around the edge, and he gets down the sideline. He's going to have enough for the 1st down, steps out of bounds inside Colerain territory, or right at the 50-yard line, so that's almost a 20-yard run. Just quarterback keeper for Zuro. Nothing spectacular, but he got on the outside, and contain was lost.
Well, he makes the perfect read and shows some athletic ability getting to the outside. Just a great decision. Castleberry was bottled up, and Colerain almost celebrating that they stopped him, but the quarterback still had the ball.
And a good job attacking the weak side of the field.
There you go. Heads off one more time to Castleberry. He's got it. He's going to have 5 yards, 6 yards, 10 yards. Number 21's got it. He's still on his feet. He's going to be tackled, but not until he gets all the way down to the Colerain 23-yard line. And this defense is winded. There's just no doubt about it.
Yeah, the size of this offensive line is kind of taken over. Colerain Cardinals, their defense, almost the entire 3rd quarter out there, and now again being tested in this 4th quarter. A lot of hands on the hips. Got to suck it up, make a play right here.
Yeah, they got to try. It's very difficult against this offense that has all the momentum going their way. 1st down and 10 for St. Edward at the Colerain 23-yard line. Snap is back. Handoff is to Castleberry. He's got it. Going to pick up maybe 2 yards on the play. They'll mark him down at the 21.
And that previous play was a good change of pace there for St. Ed's. They brought in their power back, and they kind of wrapped him up. And if that's Castleberry, he probably might have gone down, but it's the backup.
Yeah,
power
Joseph Formani.
Formani, who powers through that arm tackle, gets the big gain down inside the Cardinal 25.
Well, he's only listed as 5 pounds heavier, but he is 5'11".
But he runs very different.
Yes, you're right. Absolutely. Good call out, Brandon.
So 2nd and 8, ball at the 21.
Zuro got it. He's going to roll. This is just a design quarterback keeper. He's going to get maybe 2 yards on that play, inside the 20, maybe down to the 19.
Yeah, Eric Phillips gets off the block of the tackle, forces him out of bounds, and kind of nicely stops the clock. Colerain could use as much time as they can.
Yeah, absolutely.
And they haven't kicked many field goals this year, but we don't know his range from the kicking standpoint. We know they don't really have a kickoff, so this might be 4-down territory for the Eagles.
I would agree with you. I think it absolutely is 4-down territory. With a 7-point lead, it absolutely is 4-down territory. Let's see what they do here on 3rd down. Zuro takes it, drops back, looks to pass. Sincere Jones is up, and Quintel Kent, the Michigan recruit, just catches the ball, and that might be the nail in the coffin for the Colerain Cardinals. He goes into the end zone for the touchdown.
Back shoulder throw there. It's very tough to defend. It's all about timing. The defensive back really has got to read the receiver's hands, turn around. This time he doesn't. It's a jump ball. And
nothing special. It's our best offensive player versus your best defensive back, and it's just a jump ball, and Quintel Kent wins the jump.
So St. Edward now on for the extra point. Snap is back. Hold is down. It's a high kick. And right through the middle. So with 7:15
to play, it's your Colerain Cardinals trailing the St. Edward Eagles 20-4-10.
14 points down, 7. This is not an offense known for the coming back. It's set on the run, but they've shown the ability to throw,
and the return game has been big. So it's really a big play here for the Colerain Cardinals. You get a big return, get a short field, and you can score quickly and try to change this game around.
But the sustained drive by St. Edwards to start the half, the onside kick that, they recovered, didn't get anything out of it, but it changed the field. The defense doing the 3 and out. It really kept the ball out of the Colerain offense's hands. So a true test of your Colerain Cardinals right now has really got to come up with a big response. And does St. Edwards come out again with another onside kick?
No.
No, why would they do that?
They're just gonna, actually, I'd be surprised if they've been squibbing it. I would be surprised if they just popped this in the air, really anticipating a fair catch from the Cardinals.
We saw last week on a big hit, Ivan Pace doesn't like to call the fair catch right there. He'll take the big hit and pop up, but
Posted on the OHSAA website. Do not need to be present to win.
So Sincere Jones, J.J. Davis sitting deep, but really haven't had...
Yeah, they fielded the ball no farther back than maybe the 15-yard line. So a big 7 minutes and 15 seconds for the Colerain Cardinals.
Yeah, this is huge. And they're going to have to come out offensively now, and they're going to have to be and do something that they're not. And this is exactly where you didn't want to be and what you didn't want to have to do. But you can't just continue to feed Ivan Pace on fullback dives and expect to try and win this game. Which is fine. I mean, we know Deontay can throw the ball. Kicker gets his foot underneath it, and it is a pop-up. Taken out to 11-yard line by J.J. Davis. Looking for some room to run. Gets around the side. He's going to get to the sideline smartly to save some time. Gets all the way up to the 35-yard line.
So, good return. Not spectacular, but it does give the Cardinals good possession here. They're down 2 scores with 7:09 to play.
I continue to just be flabbergasted at how well St. Ed's has done defensively to slow down this Colerain offense. I mean, to be in the 4th quarter and only have 10 points. Again, they've only touched the ball maybe, 6 or 7 times?
Well, give it the other way. I mean, this is only the 2nd time all year this Cardinal defense has given up more than 20 points.
That's true. Snap is back to Deontay. He looks to pass. There's a pass out wide. He's got to move! How about that? Jones is gone! Jones is gone! Touchdown, Cardinals!
Is there a flag on the play?
Well, these guys are still laying back here, but
I don't see one.
I have no idea.
They're saying he stepped out of bounds.
Okay, I didn't see a flag.
Touchdown rescinded!
They're saying he stepped out of bounds at the 44-yard line.
Oh, you've got to be kidding me!
Oh, the perfect call and the perfect play. We're so far.
How could he have stepped out of bounds?
Yeah.
There was some contact. The defensive back
Yeah.
was closing down on him and gave him a little shove. Not too much arguing from the Colerain sidelines.
Well, there's no point in arguing.
Well,
they're not going to undo it.
If it's a wrong call, Coach Bolden's going to let them know about it. So they're not. Yeah, so, but it is down to the 43-yard line.
But Deontay Smith drops back, looks to pass again, dancing his feet, tossing it out. Low pass.
That was a good read, though.
Yeah, it was a good read. There was a man in the flat. Falls incomplete to Sincere Jones, so the clock is stopped, 2nd down and 10. And this is exactly, I guess, what St. Edward wanted, right, is to get Colerain in a situation where they feel like they've got to throw the ball. They have to get away from the triple option.
Yeah, he had Freddie Johnson out of the slot there, one-on-one.
That's J.J. Davis.
Was that J.J. Davis?
Yeah, 23.
Okay. 23-28 from this distance is kind of hard to think, but...
So J.J. Davis and Freddie Johnson lined up on the left.
Really, St. Edwards is playing tight to the line.
Yeah, they are. Deontay Smith drops back, looks to pass. He's going to throw it across the middle of the field, and it is knocked down, incomplete. Great defense by number 2, St. Edward. That is Caden Colesar, their All-State DB.
That was a perfect play. Deontay Smith-Moore threw across his body. He's got his man, J.J. Davis, who he thinks is open. But Colesar just makes a fantastic play to reach across without going through the body and swat it away.
Yep, that was just a great DB play.
And that's why he was All-State.
Yep. So what we thought was going to be just an electric touchdown by Sincere Jones is now turned into 3rd and 10. And obviously, it's all 4-down territory at this point. So
can't hold anything back now.
You can't hold anything back now. you've got to do everything you can to try and get the score within reason. If they can get one more on the board, maybe they can
get one more
shot
right here.
I'm going to say probably not, as he's going to look to throw. Although there he goes, he's going to tuck it and run. And again, just get positive yardage, which he does.
He reaches out to the 35. If that's where the spot is, they'll be 2 yards short of the first down.
But again, obviously, 4-down territory here with approaching 6 minutes and 30 seconds to go in the game. Colerain trailing 24-10. They need 2 touchdowns. Tie this game up, and so they've got to get in the end zone quickly here, knowing that defensively they've not been able to stop
before the end zone. They got to get this first down.
Absolutely. Drop back to DeShante. He passed it across the middle to J.J. Davis. He's got it. He's inside the 25-yard line. Clock will stop for movement of the chains. First down, Cardinals.
Yeah, he fakes the throw to the outside receiver, trying to freeze the linebacker. He does. J.J. Davis on a quick slant picks up the first down.
And Cardinals throwing on 4th and 3.
I was
thinking the speed option.
Guys, you need big chunks of yards here. You can't.
Referees are calling it a timeout.
I know you need bunch of yards, but you also that 3 yards is more important than any big chunks of yards.
I get it, right? But
you've got them spread out.
Your defense has done so far very little to stop St. Edward offensively. So you've got to find a way to get in the second half. Well, I don't care about the first half at this point. That doesn't matter. Well, adjustments were made, and at this point, St. Edward has out-adjusted Colerain. And that's not something we can say really at any other point this year.
Well, I don't know if you say out-adjusted or just out-executed. They've not allowed Colerain to have that much it's tough to get the momentum when you only run 6 plays in that quarter. So it's adjustment, it's attitude, it's execution. You've got a quarterback.
You're right, it's all of it.
You've got a quarterback who's 11 for 11.
Yeah, I told you. If they win this game, if they hold on to win the game, he's got to be the game MVP. Zuro has been very impressive. And again, I'll be totally honest, I'm very surprised at this outcome. I did not think that defensively they'd be able to handle Colerain
12
the way they have.
He's 12 for 12? Okay. Took one away from him.
Yeah, the last touchdown to Canton.
So it's first down for Colerain at the St. Edward's 23.
So Deontay Smith-Moore drops back, looks to pass, throws it across the middle of the field.
Great
pass! Caught by Sincere Jones inside the 10-yard line all the way down to the 6, or 7, excuse me.
Why haven't they been doing
that? Actually, they did do this in one game. They did this in the Middletown.
There you go, right there.
They did this in the Middletown game. We just haven't had to do it since.
Deontay Smith-Moore in the shotgun, takes it, rolls, going to keep it himself, run it into the middle, and again, that St. Edward defense just collapses, and they hold him up, but he does get down to the 5-yard line.
It's team tackling, too.
Yeah, they're all there.
They're like Colerain. The first guy's there, but all he does is he slows them down, and all of a sudden there's 9 guys on the ball.
You can see it right there on the replay. They just keep coming. They don't stop. You can see Edwards' players just keep coming in. Colsar was the last one of the group on that one. Again, 5 and a half minutes left to go. We'd like to see a little sense of urgency here. 3 wide to the left, 1 to the right. Deontay Smith-Moore drops back to pass. There's some pressure. Makes a man miss. He's going to just tuck it and go down at the 10-yard line. No big loss there. Most importantly, kept possession of the ball.
Well, when you're that close to the end zone, there's less room to work with, and that's more of a coverage stack. Kind of using the end zone kind of shortens the area where your receivers have room to work.
How many times do we play teams that run the spread that once they get inside the 15, right at the 10, they struggle.
You almost like to be outside the 15.
Right. So now back at the 10, they've got a little bit more room to work. Not a whole lot more.
2 downs to get 10 yards.
Deontay Smith-Moore drops back, looks to pass, throws it into the end zone.
1 play.
The receiver fell.
Well, he kind of fell because he was adjusting the ball that was thrown a little bit behind him.
10 for Elijah Ford on the inside.
Thrown quite a ways behind him.
So 1 down, 10 yards, Cardinals season on the line.
Yeah, this is it, folks. Now, do they can't get the first down? They've got it.
Fourth and goal. Okay. They're at the just outside the 10 and a half yards. 4:44 left to play.
So they've got to get into the end zone here, or St. Edwards will take over and presumably collect their championship trophy. Here's the snap back for the season. Deontay Smith-Moore throws it across the middle. Pass interference on the play.
Good play there by Colsar. Sincere Jones beat him in the inside. That's where Deontay Smith-Moore wanted to go. beat him inside over the middle, and he just said, you know what, I'm not giving up a touchdown. I'll give up half the distance to the goal right now.
Yeah, that's a great call out, Brandon.
Gets his right hand across the body, but rode him with the left hand.
So that's a great call. Again, because this is high school, it's only half the distance to the goal, so the ball gets put at the 5-yard line. The downs do get reset.
It's an automatic first down.
Right, the downs do get reset, so it's first down and goal at the 5-yard line. And again, the clock just continues to run.
They're still marking it fourth down.
They're still marked fourth down. Maybe it doesn't read automatic first down.
5-yard line.
Yeah, it's not automatic
Oh,
first
it's not.
down.
My apologies. There is Deontay Smith-Moore running the option, trying to cut it back in. He flipped it last second and it's in! Wow! Well, hold on. Wait a minute. They're not calling it.
They're calling a legal forward pass.
Was he past the line of scrimmage?
They're going to call an illegal forward pass. Well, it doesn't matter if it's a forward pass.
Referees are discussing this. It was a very late pitch. They're discussing whether Coach Bolton's out there looking for an explanation, but the referees are still going to discuss it.
No, they're not. They're done. They're calling an illegal forward pass on Deontay Smith-Moore.
Deontay Smith-Moore pitched that at about the 4-yard line. I think Ivan Pace catches this about the 3. If we get another look here inside, he's hit at the 4, 5. Yeah, that's forward. That's an illegal forward pass.
Because he's past the line of scrimmage.
Yeah, he's past the line of scrimmage.
All right, so Colerain has 3 timeouts. St. Edward has 2. Because it is obviously the penalties decline, turnover on down. St. Edward gets the ball back.
No, the penalty's accepted. It's a loss of down.
Oh, it's a loss of down. You're right. I'm sorry. Legal forward pass is a loss of down. There's a handoff to Castleberry, who gets tackled in the backfield by Ivan Pace Jr.
Well, that's not surprising. They know it. They know. Edwards isn't going to do anything funky here. They're just going to hand it off, and Ivan Pace is jumping the play.
Yeah, they'll just give 3 timeouts, eat some clock, still up 2 scores.
And they're going to let this clock roll. I think they'll save their timeouts for maybe if they get the next score.
No yard gained on that, so that helps. But you're right. They're going to let the clock.
No, it's all about the clock.
Yeah, they're going to just milk this clock as much as they can. Zuro, the senior quarterback now with a 2-touchdown lead and approaching 4 minutes left to go in the game. Takes the ball once again, hands it off.
Again, they're not going to do anything fancy. This is going to be a no-yard gain.
Right. Jordan Castleberry, the ball carrier.
We get a timeout from the Cardinals.
Mason Hill on the stop.
Now you do wonder if you're at. The smart thing here is to hand it off and either run some clock or make Cardinals use another timeout.
No, that's absolutely what you do. If it were 1 score, it would be, I think, a different setup. But with 2 scores, if you're Ed, you have absolutely no reason to take any risk of anything. I don't recall the last time Colerain scored 2 touchdowns in a 4-minute window at the end of a game when trailing. It's just not the way that.
How many times have they been down 2 scores?
Right, exactly.
Trailing, so it's not a.
You're just not there. Again, thanks for all of you that are tuning in to tonight's broadcast. This will be our last football broadcast of the year, obviously, as it is Week 15, and there are just no more games to play. However, we will be working with our TV partner in the community, Waycross Community TV, over the course of the basketball season. So keep checking back with wearecolerain.com as we bring you both boys and girls basketball games throughout the winter.
So, 3rd and 10 for the Eagles on their own 9-yard line. And the Cardinals jump. Not what you want to do for the Cardinals.
3rd and 5 is a lot easier than 3rd and 10.
And it probably changes the call. What was possibly a pass that might stop the clock. Now, I don't think there's any doubt they're just going to hand it off to Castleberry and try to get 5 yards here.
Would you be shocked to see a little misdirection here or a short pass?
No.
Oh, the quarterback kept it, and he's immediately tackled at the 10-yard line. It's going to be a sack and loss of yards.
Ivan Pace there with the sack.
Colerain calls a timeout. Ivan Pace on the stop is a nice way to say, as you see it here on replay, that he grabbed Zuro and then basically said, nope, they're going to go down right here.
A quality wrestler taking down a school known for his wrestling, a 2-point takedown for Ivan Pace.
Yeah, I'm sure that the wrestlers on this St. Edward team are familiar with Ivan Pace and his wrestling exploits.
I don't know. I don't know how often
I don't think
Northeast
they can.
teams come down and wrestle. St. Ed's is so good they're playing.
Well, but they have state rankings, right? So, I mean, they have individual rankings.
But St. Ed's is going on national tournaments.
I know.
They're not going,
I understand.
They're not coming anywhere near.
But they're familiar with what's going on in the state of Ohio. But you're right. It may be that they don't. But he's a senior, so he's been very good for quite a while.
3:46 to play. St. Ed's 24, Cardinals 10. 4th and 8 for the Eagles at their own 11-yard line.
Boy, Sincere getting, I'm guessing we'll call it nudged out of bounds on that last series. I mean, that, again, just people question why is it that Colerain doesn't have more than just one state championship? It's stuff like that. It's little things. I mean, maybe his foot was an inch out of bounds, right? If his foot is an inch out of bounds.
Ivan Pace is a half yard ahead of Deontay Smith-Moore.
Yeah. I mean, it's just you have to have a little bit of luck, and you have to execute at such a high level every time when you get this deep in the playoffs. And it's hard to do. There's a punt, and it's not a great punt,
but he's got grease.
Picked up, run wide. Sincere Jones takes it down up to the 35-yard line. So the Cardinals are 35 yards away. 3 minutes, 35 seconds to go in the game. Still one timeout remaining. They've got to get a quick score here. They've got to go down the field quickly.
Yeah, the first drive they had in this the previous drive they had the luxury of time because you get a score, you got timeouts, you can kind of get yourself back.
Right.
This is no time. There is no. You don't have timeouts. You probably
you've only got one.
You've only got one,
right.
And probably by the time you score, depends on if you go for an onside kick. You're probably going to go on onside kick.
You're going to have to go onside kick, which I don't know that the Cards have executed at all this year. And St. Edward, I'm sure, is well versed on how to do it. With Deontay Smith-Moore in the shotgun.
You got one-on-one Sincere Jones on the fade.
He's going to throw it deep, and Sincere looks over his shoulder. I'm not sure if he caught it or not.
Through his hand.
Inches. Oh my goodness.
Again, it's just so hard to become something you're not. Here's the replay. You can see it. Sincere Jones is there, and I think it hit both of his hands, and he just couldn't quite pull it in. That's a hard
It's
catch.
coming over your helmet, so you kind of lose it for a second.
And they flipped it. We've seen Sincere Jones covering Quintel Kent the whole game.
Yep.
They flipped it. Quintel Kent is one-on-one with Sincere Jones right now.
Yep, absolutely. A lot of respect for St. Edward and what they've been able to do here tonight, slowing down this incredibly potent Colerain offense. There's the fake the pitch to J.J. Davis. He takes it. He gets tripped up, does Deontay Smith-Moore, and he goes down. And now it's looking increasingly unlikely that the Cardinals are going to be able to find a way back in this. They've got to move quickly.
Rosario Riggs gets a hand on Deontay Smith-Moore, went to kind of throw it. Ivan Pace was open as the kind of the back slipping out of the backfield, but his Smith-Moore's ankle gets grabbed. He stumbles forward and can't get the pass off.
A lot of time being taken up here in the backfield. I mean, that was 10, 15 seconds that ran off. There's a speed around the edge. Deontay Smith-Moore throws it deep, and it is incomplete, intended for J.J. Davis. It'll be 4th down and 12.
Yeah, he was forced to throw that earlier. Lots of pressure coming from the outside. Takes a big hit.
Yeah, Elijah Ford on the pass side of the tight end, and he just whips. And number 47, Jeffrey Petrosky, a kid who moved down from linebacker to defensive end, just beat his man, and he had free reign to the quarterback.
Bringing another wide receiver into the ball game.
Motion on the side. Deontay Smith-Moore in the shotgun. J.J. Davis comes back.
Back to J.J.
And there's a pitch down deep on the field, and it is in and out of the hands of Quintel Kent. You're right. J.J. Davis was wide open in the flat.
And Deontay Smith-Moore takes a huge hit. It's a tough read.
That's a really tough read. And your heart is going to break. Colerain's going to lose this game, and your heart breaks because it's such an incredibly special group of seniors. A great leadership. This is a very good football team. But you know what? They got 14 wins, second most in Colerain history. 19th consecutive GMC championship. Obviously, you want to finish on a victory, but at the same time, tip your cap to St. Edward. I mean, this team came in here with 3 losses. They got hot over the course of the playoffs, avenged 2 regular season losses, and just defensively put on a clinic against this Colerain offense that has been scoring almost at will up through last week.
So a timeout immediately by the Colerain Cardinals as DeRuzo just took it, quarterback power, and
yeah, he won't hand it off again. He'll just keep it.
You know, these seniors who you talk about at 14-0, state semifinalists last year, finalists this year.
Yeah.
You're gonna have sour grapes. You're gonna have you're not gonna have good feelings tonight. These guys get older, and they're gonna tell their kids how many, you know, as a collective, as a class, their record is one of the tops that we've seen here at Colerain.
Yeah, no question.
You want to win this game. You want to go 15-0, and it hurts now. But when you grow up and look back, you're like, wow, not too many people have been where we have been.
Only one other team. We've got one of those guys right here in the booth, and your son Brandon, and it's a lot has to go right in order to win. And I hope that's the story that's told. You know, again, for the St. Edward Eagles, that, you know, they came in with a really good game plan and they executed very well. Tip your hat to them and what they did.
Old school elder.
Bend don't break.
Bend don't break. And that's exactly what they did. They never broke, never really gave up a giant play offensively.
Except the one he stepped out of bounds.
Yeah. There's a handoff to Castleberry. He takes it, gets low, goes right down at the 40-yard line.
So Mike Best having a big game.
Sophomore showing his future is bright. Cardinals are out of timeouts. It'll be 3rd and 7, but I don't really think it matters for the Eagles at this point. They are probably just really trying to run the clock as much as they can.
Yeah, absolutely. Fellas, I've had a tremendous time this year. It's been a tremendous amount of fun. I've enjoyed doing this with you every single week. Next year is going to be a very different-looking Colerain team. So many seniors graduating, but some really good players coming back as well.
Timeout, St. Edward.
Play clock was running down. They made some substitutions. Not really. They brought in some wide receivers. Not really sure that they were going to throw the ball right there.
I think that's more probably
getting
trying to
some seniors
get
in.
Some backup seniors in.
Okay.
Cardinals, though, still have 2 minutes and 3 seconds left, and stranger things have happened.
Just one time.
Just one time.
And as Chris stated, it's been a pleasure. You know, we get to do this every year. We get the best seats in the house. We get to talk to you, and you get to listen to us. But you guys realize that we are Colerain.com. We're all volunteers here. And, you know, thank you guys for letting me be a part of this. And, you know, Mike Rourke sits up here and fights with the internets at different schools. We got Jason Helfrich
and Alex Kaiser and Al Gabriel's down there shooting pictures tonight. Frank
Legible helped out with us. So we're all volunteers, and we love what we do. We volunteer because we love our school, we love our community, we love you guys. So
there's a fake handoff. Zero keeps it. He's going to get
Zero did it again.
Yes, he did it again. He
and
slides to get down.
There is a
flag. There's a flag, which will temporarily stop the clock.
But it's so far downfield, I don't think the holding. I think the holding is beyond the 10-yard penalty, where he's going to walk it back.
No, he threw it.
No, he's
walking it back.
Midfield. He's walking back. That will make it 3rd down again.
So holding against the Eagles at the 50-yard line is where the penalty marker is.
And it's going to take it back to the original line of scrimmage, back to the 40.
Yep. But for the Eagles, the clock ran.
Right. I mean, ultimately, that's better for the Eagles because you got to run a play and you got to eat time off the clock. I mean, again, it's under 2 minutes, and you're up 2 scores. I mean, the game, for all intent and purposes, is over. I mean, we're just kind of playing it out here, but again, barring a fumble or something ridiculous, which just isn't going to happen. Again, and as a reminder to those still listening, this St. Edward's Eagle program over the past decade has been the most dominant in the state of Ohio. Don't let the 10-3 record fool you. They had a game that was canceled this year. Otherwise, they'd have been 11-3 coming into this game. And 2 of their 3 losses they avenged in the playoffs. So they struggled out of the gate with 2 losses, but then beat St. Ignatius and Mentor in the playoffs. So this team was peaking at the right time. Zero keeps it. He's going to try and run wide. Gets right around Mike Best, stays on his feet. And there's going to be a flag against Deshaun Pace because Zero was sliding and he got hit. But, I mean, that's a tough penalty.
It's a bang-bang play, but they protect the kids. There's a little bit of helmet there.
But it also doesn't matter.
It's irrelevant. It is.
He's got the first down, and they can take as many knees as it takes, but they won't have to run. They won't have to run.
Right.
They won't have to call a play to progress the change. They have enough time, or there's not enough time on the clock to force them to do so.
Yeah, they can almost take a knee from this point on and run this clock out. As I said, we talked earlier what the keys to the game, and Colerain coming in, prohibitive, a lot of people think prohibitive favorites. St. Edward's was going to have to play a perfect game. This quarterback.
The quarterback did play a perfect game. The quarterback did.
The quarterback played a perfect game.
But St. Edward they had a lot of mistakes.
Defense.
From a penalty perspective, they had a lot of penalties in the first half. Second half really cleaned it up, and the defense executed at a very high level. So, tip your cap to St. Edward. They're going to be the 2018 Ohio Division I state champions. It's going to be their fourth state title in their school's history. Fourth in a row. 4 trips in a row to this. Their last 4 times they've been at this game.
It's 4 times
they've won.
Decade.
4 times this decade. 2010,
I got to think that
14, 15, and again here.
I got to think that only rivals the St. Ives of the 90s.
I would guess, yeah. I mean, it may be Moeller of the 70s. I think the 80s were kind of split. McKinley, I know, had, I think, 3 state championships in there.
Those were in 97, 98.
Yeah, okay. Yep. So, again, this is and the thing to take away for the underclassmen here at Colerain, this is a phenomenal learning experience, right? I mean, let's take a minute, though, and give a little bit of love to our seniors who are going to be leaving us after this game.
Yeah, thanks to all the seniors for all the sweat, the time you put in, the cheers that you allowed us to do, the work that you put in for us. So, thank you again, seniors. That's Sincere Jones, Deontay Smith-Moore, Alonzo Kendrance, Ivan Pace, Hector Lopez, Luke Bolden, Jakari Patterson, Gavin Watson, Jaquan Jackson, Willie Finch, Joey Williams, Chris Mangold, J.J. Davis, Kendall Williams, Doug Davis, Daryl Patrick, Justin Hooton, Rico Hambrick, Jacob Colley, Mason Hill, T.J. Ganella, Will Coleman, and we go Brandon Schultz, Desmond Harrell, Cordell Casey, Rusty Fest, Joey Kirby, Connor Minnick, Richard Morris, Frederick Mason, Ben Marshall, and Eric Phillips. Thank you, seniors.
One thing I want to call out here, too, again, and this absolutely warms my heart. Obviously, very disappointed in the loss. But I just saw number 3 Castleberry, Jordan Castleberry, the running back for St. Edward, have an extended conversation with Ivan Pace Jr. And he was putting his finger pretty hard into Ivan's chest. I was afraid it was going to go in a bad direction, and it didn't. They gave each other 5s. They hugged each other. I think that
was you're the man.
Yeah, that's a running back paying homage to a linebacker, maybe telling him, you know what, you're one of the best I've seen.
He's doing the same thing with Deontay Smith-Moore and Mason Hill.
Yeah, I mean, that's just a class act. And St. Edward is a class program. There's absolutely no doubt about it. Congratulations to the St. Edward Eagles winning the 2018 Division I state championship, their 4th title this decade. 4th in 7 tries overall as a program. And for the Colerain Cardinals, what can you say? 14-1, second most wins in Colerain football history. They gave it their all. They entertained us every single week, going all the way back to August with the come from behind victory over St. X, the 23-0 shutout over LaSalle to start the year, the perfect run through the GMC to garner their 19th consecutive GMC championship, and then this magical run through the playoffs, including the victory over the defending state champions last week, Pickerington Central, in the state semifinal. Unfortunately, it just wasn't meant to be this year. And, my parting words are thank you to these Cardinals. Thank you to our fans who have followed us all year long. You are the best. The community at Colerain is the best. There's no doubt about it. Can't wait for 2019. Fellas, I'll turn it over to you with final thoughts.
14-1, came up 1 game short, but it's safe to say I think it's the most fun we've had in all the time we've been doing this, and
absolutely.
And they may have fell up short, but you know what? I saw it all week in the community. I saw it all week on Facebook. I saw it today from the 80s to my class in 2004. Everyone kept remembering that day in 2004 and saying, "Hey, let's do it again tonight." Cardinals didn't do it tonight, but again, everyone behind them, and a great showing by the Colerain community.
We thanked our seniors, but what a special class. The unselfishness of, you got a 4-headed backfield. You talk to each one of these kids, you're proud to have them as your own kid.
No question.
So, this defense, much heralded, lots of seniors out there, but, not only good football players, but fine young men. That's what we built here at Colerain.
And that's, I think, I think there was a couple guys that really emphasized it, and any other the stereotype of the superstar athlete. Sincere Jones, J.J. Davis, Deontay Smith-Moore, three guys in the backfield that
cheered for each other.
That we've seen play varsity times as they're freshmen, and most of the time when you're a superstar, you want the ball. These are unselfish young men who have bright futures, and it's not just them.
And what a great example they set, right?
But between those three and Deontay Smith-Moore, Ivan Pace Jr., it's just Eric Phillips. I mean, your captain,
Pace. The story of Hector Lopez.
Lopez.
There's so many stories here with this class, and as I said, not just proud to call them Cardinals.
Coming back here week 15, the senior working his tail off to be able to play one last game in that Cardinal uniform.
And I said it earlier, tears tonight. We don't like this. But these guys, when these guys have kids their age, they're going to brag to their kids about how good they were, and they don't have to lie.
So with that, we're going to go ahead and wrap it up. The Colerain Cardinals just received their Division I runner-up trophy, which will head its way back to Cincinnati in 8801 Cheviot Road, where it'll join their state championship trophy from 2004. Came up a little short, but again, it's not about being sad that it ended. It's being happy that it happened. So for Brian and Brandon Wyatt, Mike Wark, and the rest of the WeAreColerain.com team, for the final time signing off, saying thank you for tuning in. We are Colerain.